Chapter 2189. Zhao Yin stretched out her hand and said to Zhao Ping, didn't you come to give the gift money today? Leave the gift money, and you can leave. Zhao Yin really didn't want to let Zhao Ping continue to stay in her house, so she simply chased her away. Zhao Ping was a little unhappy. At this moment, Little Black was baring its teeth at her with a threatening look. Zhao Ping snorted coldly in her heart. Sure enough, a dog was relying on its master's power to bully others. Why was Little Black so smart? It cooperated well with Zhao Yun, no matter what she said. She replied to Zhao Yun unhappily. Tianan is getting married. The gift money will naturally be given to Tianan. What's the big deal about giving it to you? Alright then, give it to Tianan. After you're done, hurry up and get lost, Zhao Yun urged impatiently. I still want to say a few words to Tianan. After all, I'm his biological sister. Since he's getting married, I have a few words to say to him. Zhao Yin couldn't stop her. Then hurry up and say it. After you're done, get lost. Don't dawdle and waste time. Got it. Zhao Ping also replied with some displeasure. Then, she looked at Zhao Tianan and had Zhao Tianan wave her hand. Tianan, big sister has something to say to you. Go ahead. Not here. If someone hears, let's go somewhere else to talk. This? Zhao Tianan looked at Zhao Yun at the side, seeking her opinion. After seeing Zhao Yun not in agreement, Zhao Tianan followed Zhao Ping to the back of the courtyard. Big sister, what do you have to say to me? Zhao Tianan asked curiously. Usually, his relationship with his big sister wasn't very good, and they didn't talk much. At this moment, he was very curious about what Zhao Ping wanted to say to him that couldn't be in front of Zhao Yun. Zhao Ping took out a red packet from her sleeve and handed it to Zhao Tianan. Here, Tianan, take it. This is big sister and brother-in-law's kind intentions. Zhao Tianan opened his mouth in surprise when he saw that there was one tael of silver in the red packet. After all, a few dozen copper coins was enough as a gift for a wedding. Zhao Tianan's one tael of silver was definitely a lot. Zhao Tianan hurriedly declined. Big sister, no, this money is too much. You should give less. I can't accept so much. Zhao Ping forced the red packet into Zhao Tianan's hands. Tianan, big sister has earned a lot of money these days. You finally got married, and it's a joyous occasion. Giving more money as a gift is big sister's kind intentions. Don't refuse anymore. Otherwise, wouldn't you be betraying big sister's good intentions? Zhao Tianan frowned in confusion. But big sister, this one tael of silver is still too much. If father and mother knew, they definitely wouldn't let me accept it. Zhao Ping chuckled. I say, Tianan, why are you so honest? If father and mother ask, just say that it's just a few dozen copper coins. Keep the rest of the money for yourself as a private stash. When you get married, how can you not have some spare money? You can't have to ask father and mother for anything you want to buy, right? Zhao Tianan lowered his head and stared at the tael of silver in his hand. He muttered, Big sister, we have everything at home. I don't have anything I want to buy. I definitely don't need to use my private stash. Zhao Ping chuckled and teased Zhao Tianan. Tianan, my good little brother, big sister has been through this before. You're right to believe me. Chapter 2190. Eldest sister. Seeing that Zhao Tianan still wanted to decline, Zhao Ping pulled a long face. Tianan, if you say any more, eldest sister will be angry. Isn't it just one tael of silver as a wedding gift? What's the big deal? Eldest sister and eldest brother-in-law now own a restaurant, and the money they earn in a day is much more than this. One tael of silver isn't a big sum to us now, so it's fine if you take it. Only then did Zhao Tianan reluctantly accept it, but his heart was very uneasy. He wanted to give this one tael of silver to Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua, but he was afraid that when the time came, his parents would scold him and say that he shouldn't have accepted this gift money. Just as Zhao Tianan was struggling with what to do, Zhao Ping said, Tianan, there's one more thing that everyone wants to talk to you about. Eldest sister, what's the matter? Zhao Ping sighed and looked up to ask Zhao Tianan. Tianan, do you really want to get married? Zhao Tianan was slightly stunned. Eldest sister, what do you mean? You like that Mu Hin? Zhao Tianan nodded in response. When she mentioned Mu Hin, he was a little shy. Tianan, didn't you used to like Xiaofeng? Could it be that you've forgotten Xiaofeng so quickly? Because you're getting married soon. Xiaofeng was very sad when she found out. I really couldn't bear to see her like that. Tianan, eldest sister, understands women better than you do. Mu Hin is far inferior to Xiaofeng. Fortunately, you're not married now, so you still have a chance to choose. When you're really married, it'll be too late. If you still like Xiaofeng, go and tell father and mother that you don't like Mu Hin, that you don't want to marry Mu Hin, and that you want to be with Xiaofeng. Zhao Ping'er instigated Zhao Tianan. The purpose of her visit today was to say these words to Zhao Tianan. After listening to Zhao Ping'er's words, Zhao Tianan's face suddenly sank, and he immediately rejected Zhao Ping'er with righteous words. Big sister, what nonsense are you talking about? This won't do. Why not? Zhao Ping'er asked anxiously. What's so good about Mu Hin? In my opinion, he can't even compare to one of Xiaofeng's fingers. Tianan, you seem to be an honest person. Why did you have a change of heart so quickly? How long had it been? He had already fallen in love with Mu Hin, and cast Xiaofeng aside. What a lowly vixen. Back then I deliberately seduced you, but in the end, you fell for it. Sai, you're so silly. Big sister is doing this for your own good. You have to think about what big sister said. Zhao Tianan originally had a good attitude towards Zhao Ping'er, but after hearing Zhao Ping'er's words, his face immediately sank. He said to Zhao Ping'er with some displeasure, Big sister, don't talk nonsense. Mu Hin isn't the kind of person you're talking about. She's a good girl. I have to be responsible for her, so I definitely have to marry her. As for me and Xiaofeng, that's a matter of the past. I did like Xiaofeng in the past, but now the only person I like is Mu Hin. Moreover, even if I like Xiaofeng, I've already arranged a marriage with Mu Hin. Both families have already discussed and prepared for it. If I were to break off the engagement at this time, wouldn't Mu Hin be wronged? If the man breaks off the engagement before they even get married, she'll definitely be laughed at in the future. Now that I've grown up, I'm a man. I have to be responsible for my actions. I can't hurt a girl for nothing. When Zhao Ping'er heard this, she felt that Zhao Tianan was stubborn and had been bewitched by Mu Hin. Chapter 2191. Big sis, there's nothing between Xiaofeng and me anymore. I want to be together with Mu Hin. No matter which one of them I choose, I'll definitely let one of them down. There's no way to have the best of both worlds. Big sis, don't make things difficult for me. I've already made things clear with Xiaofeng previously. Zhao Tianan's expression was also a little ugly. Regarding Mu Hin and Ma Xiaofeng, anyone was clear on how to handle the relationship between these two people. In the past he liked Ma Xiaofeng. In the end he realized that it was still more relaxing to be together with Mu Hin. Furthermore, he had already touched Mu Hin's body. He could not be an irresponsible man. When Zhao Ping'er heard Zhao Tianan's words, her body trembled in anger. She pointed at Zhao Tianan. Tianan, you'll regret missing out on such a good girl like Xiaofeng. Big sis, if I want to be together with Xiaofeng, I'll also regret missing out on Mu Hin. As for Xiaofeng, I believe that such a good girl like her will find an even better man. Zhao Tianan's words already revealed his determination. Zhao Ping'er knew that her persuasion was hopeless and could only say, Okay. Since you insist on being together with Mu Hin, I can't stop you. I just hope that you won't regret it. Zhao Ping'er turned around impatiently. Zhao Tianan saw that Zhao Ping'er's expression was ugly and asked weakly, Big sis, are you leaving? Of course I'm leaving. If I don't leave, should I still stay here? Anyway, you're just a rock. No matter what I say, you won't move. Big sis, Zhao Ping'er did not waste her breath. Her mood was very bad. She walked out from the back of the house, and Zhao Tianan followed behind resentfully. Zhao Yun'er glanced at the two of them. She was a little suspicious. What exactly happened? Big brother Yuan, let's go. Zhao Ping'er went to the front of Qin Yuan and said in a sweet voice, Okay. Qin Yuan nodded. The two of them didn't go back to the family Qin, but went to old Zhao's house. Qin Yuan had been busy with the restaurant these days, so it was rare for them to have time. This time, Following Zhao Ping'er's wishes, he came over as her brother-in-law to give Zhao Tianan some money as a gift. After that, he couldn't wait to go to old Zhao's house and take some time to meet Zhao Xinhui. This time, he brought a lot of good things to old Zhao's house. He even bought a golden hairpin for Zhao Xinhui, which cost more than 10 taels of silver. The hairpin was exquisitely made and was bought from the most famous jewelry shop in Sun City. Usually, only the rich people of Sun City would buy them. Ordinary people didn't have the ability to buy it even if they wanted to. After all, a single piece of jewelry could cost more than an ordinary person could earn in a lifetime. Although Zhao Ping'er wasn't happy and wanted to hurry back to the family Qin, she knew that Qin Yuan was going for Zhao Xinhui. She couldn't stop him. Who asked her to like Qin Yuan? Everything had to go along with Qin Yuan's wishes. However, going to old Zhao's house this time was also good. They bought such a luxurious carriage and had yet to show it off in front of old Zhao's house. This time, they could go to old Zhao's house to show it off and make others envious. Hey, big brother Yuan, where did this hairpin come from? It's so pretty. Qin Yuan accidentally took out the hairpin from his pocket, and it fell out. Zhao Ping'er's sharp eyes noticed it. Zhao Ping'er happily picked it up from the ground. She held it in her hands and looked at it. Then, she looked at Qin Yuan with a blissful expression. Big brother Yuan, are you preparing to give such a pretty hairpin to me? Chapter 2192. Qin Yuan immediately snatched the hairpin from Zhao Ping'er's hands. He glanced at it indifferently and said to Zhao Ping'er, Zhao Ping'er, don't waste God's gift recklessly. It's simply a waste for such a beautiful hairpin to be worn on your head. Zhao Ping'er's originally joyous face immediately sank, and a hint of loneliness appeared in her eyes. Big brother Yuan, are you really not giving this hairpin to me? Then who is it for? Zhao Ping'er asked somewhat dejectedly. Qin Yuan had a straight face. He stuffed the hairpin into his sleeve and said to Zhao Ping'er, of course it's for your little aunt. Who else could it be for? Although Zhao Ping'er had expected a reluctant answer, hearing Qin Yuan say it with her own ears gave her a different feeling. Nowadays, Qin Yuan only knew how to think about Zhao Xinhui. He would think of Zhao Xinhui first whenever he had something good. Such a beautiful golden hairpin was obviously expensive. The jewelry that she had bought was not even a tenth of Zhao Xinhui's. One could imagine how much weight she had in Qin Yuan's heart. She was also not even a tenth of Zhao Xinhui's. When she thought of this, Zhao Ping'er became even angrier. Big brother Yuan, aren't you treating little aunt too well? How much money did you spend on this golden hairpin? It's only right that I treat little aunt well. Our restaurant was able to open because of little aunt. If it weren't for little aunt, would we be able to earn so much money like we are now? Buying more things for little aunt now is a form of repayment, understand? Zhao Ping'er, how can a woman like you have any objections? Zhao Ping'er was clear that Qin Yuan was only using this as an excuse to protect Zhao Xinhui. Even if Zhao Xinhui did not invest in the restaurant, he was willing to put the best things in front of Zhao Xinhui after receiving the money. She could only choose not to pursue the matter further. Otherwise, she would be even sadder and make Qin Yuan feel uncomfortable with her. While they were talking, the carriage had already arrived in front of old Zhao's house. Qin Yuan jumped out of the car and took out a lot of things he bought. Hu Chunhua caught a glimpse of the things in Qin Yuan's hands and immediately came out to greet him. She was very polite to Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan, you haven't been here for a long time. Why did you bring so many things with you? Hu Chunhua pretended to be concerned and asked. As she spoke, she couldn't wait to take the things from the novice. Qin Yuan had brought some longans, red dates, brown sugar, and precious pastries. It was obvious that they were all valuable. Hu Chunhua felt that she had earned a lot. While she was excited, she became more polite to Qin Yuan. It was completely different from the cold attitude she used to treat Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan smiled and said, Grandma, the restaurant's business has been very busy these days. I didn't have time, so I found some time to come and see you today. It's rare for me to come, so I can't come empty-handed. I must bring more things. Hu Chunhua nodded quickly. According to Qin Yuan's words, Qin Yuan's restaurant must have been doing well these days and made a lot of money. With so much money, wouldn't she and her daughter live a happy life together with Qin Yuan in the future? You're so considerate. You have a good heart. You're so filial. Hu Chunhua praised him again and again. Seeing that Hu Chunhua's attitude had changed so much, Qin Yuan was in a good mood. He smiled and replied, "It's my duty. You're my elder and this is my aunt's mother. If I'm not filial to you, who else can I be filial to?" Chapter 2193. Qin Yuan could not wait to see Zhao Xinhui. So he showed the hairpin in his hand to Zhao Xinhui. When Zhao Xinhui saw it, she would definitely be very happy and smile at him. "Your aunt is sleeping in the room. Shall I go in and call her out?" Hu Chunhua said as she made a move to enter Zhao Xinhui's room. Qin Yuan hurriedly waved his hand. "Grandma, forget it. Don't call for my aunt. I'll go in and look for her." If it were in the past, Hu Chunhua would definitely not agree. Now that Qin Yuan suggested it, Hu Chunhua did not stop him at all. "All right, go ahead." Hu Chunhua's straightforward attitude made Qin Yuan feel a little unreal. Now he increasingly felt that it was good to be rich. People would only look up to you if you were rich. It was not like when he came to old Zhao's house previously, he only received supercilious looks. Their family Qin was poor at that time, so it was normal for the poor to be bullied and supercilious looks. Zhao Ping was a little unhappy. "Grandma, Brother Yuan, that's my aunt's room. It's not very good for you to go in, right?" Hu Chunhua glared at Zhao Ping. "What's not good about it? Anyway, no one will see. If you don't say it out loud, who will know?" "That's right. Anyway, there's only one family in the courtyard. No one will know." Qin Yuan followed behind Hu Chunhua and replied, "Then Brother Yuan, I want to go in too." Zhao Ping wanted to follow Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan sternly refused. "Zhao Ping, what are you doing in here? Just sit in the courtyard and wait for me. I have something to tell your aunt. How are we going to talk if you come in?" Although Zhao Ping was unhappy, she could only listen to Qin Yuan's instructions and wait in the courtyard. Qin Yuan chose to rush into Zhao Xinhui's room. At this time, Zhao Xinhui was lying on the bed sleeping. She was only wearing a tutu, and her smooth arms were exposed. Zhao Xinhui's skin was much smoother and fairer than Zhao Ping's. Qin Yuan caught a glimpse of Zhao Xinhui's beautiful face and couldn't help but gulp. Then he walked over to Zhao Xinhui and sat on Zhao Xinhui's bed. Qin Yuan lowered his body and sniffed Zhao Xinhui's body. He smelled the faint fragrance of a woman. Not only was Zhao Xinhui prettier than Zhao Ping, but her body also smelled better than Zhao Ping, When Qin Yuan got closer and closer, he couldn't help but touch Zhao Xinhui's skin with his hands. Then he gently pecked Zhao Xinhui's face. Qin Yuan touched his lips and revealed a blissful expression. Qin Yuan's movements woke Zhao Xinhui up. When Zhao Xinhui opened her eyes, she was shocked to see Qin Yuan's face. "Hui, it's me." Qin Yuan comforted her gently. "Why are you in my room?" Zhao Xinhui was a little puzzled. "Hui, I finished my business at the restaurant and rushed over to see you." Qin Yuan smiled fawningly and answered. Zhao Xinhui frowned and muttered unhappily. "Now you know to come and see me. I thought you forgot about me. After all, you're rich now and there are many beautiful women around you. Who knows if you'll fall in love with another woman." Chapter 2194. Zhao Xinhui looked at Qin Yuan suspiciously, as if she didn't believe Qin Yuan's words. "Really?" Qin Yuan raised his hand and swore. "Huither, of course it's true. How could I lie to you? If it weren't for the fact that the restaurant is too busy and I can't find the time, I really want to see you every day. You don't know how much I miss you after not seeing you for so long. But right now the restaurant is the most important thing. Only when we earn enough money can we buy a big house in Yang City. When the time comes, we can live a good life in Yang City with you. Now that the restaurant is so busy, you also want to see how much money we earn every day, right?" Zhao Xinhui was silent for a moment. The busier the restaurant was, the better it would be. This was because the busier the restaurant was, the better the business would be, which also meant that they could earn more money. "But you still shouldn't have taken so long to come and see me," Zhao Xinhui muttered. At this moment, she no longer had the resentment from before. Instead, It was as if she had been wronged and was acting coquettishly. Qin Yuan coaxed her. Hui'er, I know I was wrong. I also wanted to come and see you earlier. In the future, I will definitely find more time to come. When we buy a big house in Yang City, we won't have to go through so much trouble. Oh right, I also brought you a gift today. See if you like it. As Qin Yuan spoke, he took out a golden hairpin from his sleeve. Hui'er, I specially bought this for you at Jubao Pavilion. Didn't you say that you like jewelry from Jubao Pavilion? See if you like what I picked for you. Zhao Xinhui took the golden hairpin. The unique and exquisite design was very beautiful. Women would naturally like it when they saw it. Zhao Xinhui didn't expect Qin Yuan to be so thoughtful. He even remembered that she had said that she liked jewelry from Jubao Pavilion. I like it. Zhao Xinhui's face bloomed with a brilliant smile as she said to Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan's heart rippled for a moment. Hui'er, it's good that you like it. I'm a big man, so I don't know how to pick these pieces of jewelry. I just picked the ones that I think look good. Before I gave it to you, I was worried that you wouldn't like it. If you don't like it, I'll have to give you something else. I like it, of course I like it. How could I not like such a beautiful hairpin? Zhao Xinhui smiled, and was in a good mood. By the way, Qin Yuan, Jubao Pavilion's jewelry is very expensive. You must have spent a lot of money on this golden hairpin, right? Zhao Xinhui began to feel sorry for the money. What she needed to do now was not to spend extravagantly, but to save up the money she earned. That way, she could buy a big house in Yang City and move in sooner. Otherwise, it would be really boring to stay in the countryside where even birds don't shit. It cost me more than 10 taels. It's not that expensive. Qin Yuan replied. Zhao Xinhui pursed his lips. A dozen taels isn't expensive? How many years would it take for an ordinary family to save up a dozen taels of silver? Qin Yuan chuckled. Although a dozen taels of silver is a large sum, I think it's worth it to spend it on you. Hui'er, you're so good, so you should have the best things in the world. When I earn more money in the future, I'll buy all the good things for you. Hearing Qin Yuan's sweet words, Zhao Xinhui's heart also felt sweet. Here, put it on for me. Zhao Xinhui stuffed the hairpin into Qin Yuan's hands. Chapter 2195. How is it? Does it look good? Zhao Xinhui asked shyly. Qin Yuan looked at Zhao Xinhui affectionately and nodded. It looks good. Hui'er, such a beautiful hairpin should be matched with someone as beautiful as you. The more I look at it, the more beautiful it is. It's worth it no matter how much money I spend. Zhao Xinhui was very happy to be coaxed by Qin Yuan. Then she said to Qin Yuan, when did you learn to be like those men who like to sweet talk so much? Auntie, I'm not. I'm obviously telling the truth. There's no sweet talk at all. Zhao Xinhui smiled shyly. Then she lowered her head and snuggled into Qin Yuan's arms. She asked in a sweet voice, Qin Yuan, what's so good about me? Why do you like me so much? Now that you're rich, you can find other beautiful women if you want. Why do you still want to be with me? Qin Yuan quickly interrupted Zhao Xinhui. Hui'er, don't let your imagination run wild. No matter how beautiful other women are, it has nothing to do with me. You're the only woman in my heart. From now on, I'll only treat you well. Zhao Xinhui was touched. When Qin Yuan was poor, he said that he liked her and loved her. He treated her well because he had no other choice. But now that Qin Yuan was rich, he could still maintain this attitude. This meant that she held a very important place in Qin Yuan's heart. Qin Yuan, you're so good. Zhao Xinhui hugged Qin Yuan even tighter. With a beautiful woman in his arms, Zhao Xinhui's body fragrance wafted into Qin Yuan's nostrils. Qin Yuan was a man after all. How could he not have any thoughts when hugging the woman he loved? His throat moved, and he swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Then he hugged Zhao Xinhui even tighter. Hui. Qin Yuan murmured. What's wrong? Zhao Xinhui asked. Hui'er, can I have you? Qin Yuan's heart was moved, and he blurted out these words. After he finished speaking, he felt that he might have been rude. He was afraid that he would scare Zhao Xinhui, so he stammered nervously, Hui'er. I was just agitated. Please don't blame me. Looking at Qin Yuan's flushed face, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but burst into laughter. Why would I blame you? You didn't do anything wrong. I was rude. Actually, it's not impossible if you want it, Zhao Xinhui said in a low voice. Ever since Zhao Xinhui parted ways with young Master Huang, it had been a long time since he had experienced such pleasure, so he was looking forward to it. After all, if a woman hadn't done it for a long time, her heart would itch. This was similar to a man. But sometimes, a woman's desire may be more terrifying than a man's. She hadn't done it for 2 or 3 months, so it wouldn't hurt to do it with Qin Yuan once. She could satisfy Qin Yuan and feel refreshed at the same time. Qin Yuan looked up in surprise. He looked at Zhao Xinhui and said, "We're really? Is it really okay?" Zhao Xinhui nodded heavily and replied, "Really? You like me so much, and we've been together for a long time. It's okay if I give it to you." Qin Yuan couldn't contain his excitement. He thought he had heard wrong, but he didn't expect it to be true. Qin Yuan pinched his face hard and groaned in pain. Chapter 2196. Seeing Qin Yuan's silly behavior, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but criticize Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan grinned. "Hui'er, I want to see if I'm dreaming. It feels like a dream. It's a little unreal." Zhao Xinhui was amused by Qin Yuan and laughed. "You fool." Qin Yuan chuckled. "Hui'er, I'm just too happy." After laughing, Qin Yuan didn't forget about today's serious business. He hurriedly moved closer to Zhao Xinhui and kissed Zhao Xinhui on the lips. Qin Yuan and Zhao Ping had been together for a long time. Although he had touched Zhao Pinger's body, he had never kissed Zhao Ping on the lips. If you didn't love someone, you would feel disgusted if you kissed them. However, it was different for Zhao Xinhui. Qin Yuan truly loved this woman in his heart. Kissing Zhao Xinhui on the lips also gave him a very different feeling. Zhao Xinhui's lips were soft, small, and had a sweet taste. It made him want to continue kissing her. Just like that, Qin Yuan hugged and kissed Zhao Xinhui for a long time. His body became hotter and hotter. When the conditions were right, Qin Yuan's large hands reached under Zhao Xinhui's doo-doo. "Hui'er," Qin Yuan whispered in Zhao Xinhui's ear. Zhao Xinhui's heart skipped a beat. Then her whole body became hotter and hotter. "Qin Yuan, hurry up." Zhao Xinhui couldn't take it anymore and hurriedly urged him. "Okay." Qin Yuan was also a little impatient. He rubbed his hands and quickly undid Zhao Xinhui's belt. Then he began to take off her other clothes. After taking off Zhao Xinhui's clothes, Qin Yuan couldn't wait to loosen his belt. "Qin Yuan, hurry up." Zhao Xinhui didn't feel ashamed and continued to urge. She had already experienced many things, and was not the kind of young lady who did not know anything. Even if she was naked in front of Qin Yuan, Zhao Xinhui did not feel embarrassed. After taking off his clothes, Qin Yuan couldn't wait to get on the bed. "Hui'er, I'm here," Qin Yuan said excitedly. Qin Yuan lowered his head to look at the woman beneath him. His eyes almost popped out of their sockets. In the past, he had always felt that Zhao Xinhui was far away from him. He had never thought that one day, he would be together with Zhao Xinhui. Yet at this very moment, he was actually able to have such a relationship with Zhao Xinhui and do such an intimate thing. "Hui'er, I'm here. Are you ready?" Qin Yuan prepared to enter. Zhao Xinhui nodded and replied, "Yes, yes. Hurry up." She couldn't hold it in any longer. If Qin Yuan continued to dawdle, she would want to press down on this man's body and have a good time. Fortunately, Qin Yuan didn't dawdle this time. In an instant, the two of them had sex and reached a magical state. It was indescribably comfortable and enjoyable. Qin Yuan only felt that Zhao Xinhui's body wrapped around him was more comfortable than Zhao Ping. Perhaps it was the happiest thing to do with the person you loved. Between him and Zhao Ping, he was just satisfying his physical desires. He didn't have any other thoughts. "Hui'er, are you comfortable?" Qin Yuan asked. "Yes," Zhao Xinhui replied. Qin Yuan's stamina was obviously much better than young Master Huang's, so Zhao Xinhui enjoyed it very much. Chapter 2197. Zhao Xinhui had never experienced such pleasure before. When Qin Yuan saw Zhao Xinhui's expression of enjoyment, he knew that Zhao Xinhui was indeed very comfortable, so he worked harder on the bed. After a while, Zhao Xinhui's bed creaked loudly. Moreover, the two of them were enjoying themselves. Naturally, they couldn't care less and continued to enjoy themselves. Huir huir. Qin Yuan called out Zhao Xinhui's name, while Zhao Xinhui moaned in enjoyment. Because the two of them were in a state of oblivion, they didn't realize that their voices were clearly heard by the people outside the room. Of course, this included Zhao Ping, and Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua was open-minded. She knew that Zhao Xinhui would be with Qin Yuan in the future. Whether the two of them had sex earlier or later, they would have to have sex sooner or later. Since it wasn't a big deal, they could let Zhao Xinhui keep Qin Yuan in suspense so that Qin Yuan wouldn't go looking for other pretty girls. Besides, Zhao Xinhui wasn't a pure girl now. Since it wasn't her first time, it naturally didn't matter. However, Zhao Ping sat there with a bitter expression. After all, Qin Yuan was the man she loved. How could she be willing to let the man she loved do such things with other women? When Zhao Ping heard Zhao Xinhui's licentious moans, she couldn't help but spit on the ground and scold. Shameless, shameless, really shameless. Her aunt was a shameless B*TCH who specialized in seducing other men to do such things. Moreover, she moaned more happily than anyone else. It was broad daylight, yet she didn't hide it. She wasn't afraid of being overheard. She didn't know shame at all. Where did such a thick-skinned woman come from? Hearing Zhao Xinhui's screams getting more and more cheerful, Zhao Ping couldn't hold back anymore. She stood up and wanted to walk towards Zhao Xinhui's room. Hua Chunhua saw this and hurriedly pulled Zhao Ping back. She said to Zhao Ping, Ping, where are you going? Didn't you hear anything in the house? Zhao Ping curled her lips and replied with a face full of resentment. I heard it. My aunt is trying to seduce my husband. I'm going over now to stop my aunt from doing such a despicable thing. Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Ping. What are you talking about? Who seduced your husband? Didn't you see how Qin Yuan was staring at your aunt? He was the one who stuck close to your aunt's butt. How can you say that your aunt seduced him? Zhao Ping snorted coldly. Anyway, it's my aunt's fault. She's shameless to do such a thing with my man. Hua Chunhua couldn't tolerate Zhao Ping talking bad about Zhao Xinhui. She poked Zhao Ping's forehead with her finger and scolded. You wicked girl, if you dare to talk nonsense about your aunt again, I'll punish you. Instead of talking about your aunt, you should talk about your man. You can't control your man's heart. Who can you blame? Now that Qin Yuan is rich, even if your aunt isn't around, there will be other women. Do you think that Qin Yuan is blind enough to fall in love with you? Although Hua Chunhua was telling the truth, Zhao Ping wasn't willing to listen. Okay, go back and sit down. Why did you suddenly barge in? Let's not talk about whether your aunt will be angry or not. When the time comes, the children of Qin Yuan will definitely not forgive you. You'd better behave and don't make people angry, lest they drive your Qin away. I'll see where you can live a good life. Chapter 2198. In the heat of the moment, she didn't think too much. She wanted to stop Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan from having fun together, but she didn't consider the consequences of rashly barging in. If she disturbed Qin Yuan's happy occasion, Qin Yuan would definitely reprimand her. If she ignored her in a fit of pique, then it would be over. Although she was unhappy, Zhao Ping couldn't do anything about it. Like a deflated balloon, Zhao Ping sat back down on the stool, feeling wronged. Hearing the happy sounds coming from the room, Zhao Ping felt a wave of irritation in her heart. Sigh. Zhao Ping sighed heavily and touched her face. If she could be as handsome as her aunt, perhaps Qin Yuan would like her instead of having illicit relations with Zhao Xinhui. At this time, Feng Zhangxia returned to the courtyard with Jin Zhu after they finished their business outside. As soon as they entered the courtyard, they heard the joyous sounds coming from Zhao Xinhui's room. Feng Zhangxia was very shocked. Who was her little sister doing such a shameless thing in the room in broad daylight? When Jin Zhu heard the sounds, her face immediately turned red with embarrassment. Feng Zhangxia glanced at the horse carriage outside, then looked at Zhao Ping. She guessed that Qin Yuan had come over. At this time, The person doing such a thing in the room with Zhao Xinhui was undoubtedly Qin Yuan. Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly. Little Jew, or your aunt still had the nerve to say that before. Now what she did is more embarrassing than anyone else. Why don't you say that you're shameless? It's broad daylight, yet you're shouting so happily. Fortunately, it's our family members who came to the courtyard. If someone else came and heard it, how terrible would that be? At that time, it would affect our old Zhao family's reputation. Because all the girls in our old Zhao family are just like her, shameless and thick-skinned. When Jinju heard Feng Zhangxia's words, she lowered her head and didn't say anything. She did feel embarrassed. When she thought of what had happened in the room, Jinju's face turned even redder. Feng Zhangxia glanced at her second daughter-in-law and asked with a smile, "Little Jewer, are you embarrassed?" Jinju didn't say anything, but she silently agreed. "Haha, little girl Jewer, you and Tianhu have already consummated your marriage. You're not an inexperienced little girl. What's there to be embarrassed about? Mother is just telling you that your aunt is shameless. Don't take what she said about you to heart. The most licentious person in our family is your sister-in-law," Feng Zhangxia said and patted Jinju's shoulder. Jinju replied shyly. Compared to Zhao Xinhui, Jinju naturally knew that she was far less daring than Zhao Xinhui. Feng Zhangxia smiled again and sashayed over to Hu Chunhua. With a mocking tone, she said to Hu Chunhua, "Mother, didn't you hear the commotion in the room? Why don't you go and talk to little sister? If the villagers hear this, who knows what kind of joke our old Zhao family will become?" Hu Chunhua's expression stiffened, and she replied unhappily, "How can I rush in and talk to her? Woman, it's easy for you to say that. Mother, I'm just reminding you out of kindness. There are many people in our village who talk. If such a shocking thing is known, it'll be terrible. Your little sister's mother, so you have to think for her. After all, little sister's reputation is already bad enough." Chapter 2199. Feng Zhangxia replied with some displeasure. "Mother, why are you talking about my Jewer again? No matter what, she's better than little sister, right? All right. Stop being so long-winded. You don't have to worry about this." Hu Chunhua replied impatiently. Feng Zhangxia saw that Hu Chunhua was an unreasonable person. It was useless for her to say anything more, so she simply stopped talking. Anyway, she had already mocked Zhao Xinhui and satisfied her mouth. "Mother, that's fine. I won't worry about it. If there are any rumors about little sister in the future, don't blame me for not warning you as your sister-in-law." As Feng Zhangxia spoke, she beckoned Jinju into the room. The sounds of pleasure could be heard in the courtyard. The people who heard it felt hot and dry, so how could they have the nerve to continue staying there? Naturally, they wanted to hurry into the room so that they wouldn't have to listen to such filthy sounds. The most uncomfortable person in the old Zhao family was Zhao Wenshui. He hadn't touched a woman in a long time, so hearing the sounds in Zhao Xinhui's room in the middle of the day was naturally unbearable. He touched the thing that was beginning to harden below, and fiddled with it a few times. It was quite comfortable to fiddle with it himself when he had nothing to do, but after doing it too much, it became dull. It was better to have sex with a woman than to do it himself. It was more enjoyable to have sex with a woman. Unfortunately, he didn't have a woman to have sex with. He didn't even have a wife. Zhao Wenshui touched the thing below and said dispiritedly, Forget it. I won't touch it anymore. You should stop too. You can touch it after I marry a wife, okay?" However, the thing below didn't listen to him, and was getting more and more aroused. The noise outside continued. Zhao Wenshui was annoyed by it, so he simply covered his head with the blanket and buried himself in it. This way, he could block out the noise outside. However, the weather hadn't cooled down yet. Zhao Wenshui was covered in sweat while holding the quilt. He had no choice but to take the quilt away and poke his head out. Seriously, there's activity in the middle of the night and in the middle of the day. Are they bullying me because I don't have a wife? Zhao Wenshui grumbled angrily. During the day, the sounds came from Zhao Xinhui. At night, Zhao Wenshui had to endure the physical and mental torture when he heard the sounds of Jinju and Zhao Tianhu. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. Zhao Wenshui sat up on the bed with a bang. No, I can't go on like this. I have to hurry and find Jing or give me some money and let me buy a wife. Zhao Xinhui and Qin Yuan enjoyed themselves for more than half an hour before they finally stopped. At the same time, another carriage stopped outside the courtyard. This time it was Shen Pan. Over the past 2 days, Shen Pan had returned to her parents' home and stayed there for a few days before returning. Because her family was rich, every time she came back, she would be sent back by a carriage with many good things. Hearing the sounds outside, Jin Ju said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, sister-in-law is back. She must have brought a lot of things back. Let's help her carry them." Yes, yes. Jin Ju nodded heavily in response. Then the two of them went out of the room. Seeing Shen Pan carrying a lot of things, Feng Zhangxia couldn't stop smiling. Chapter 2200. However, Zhao Yangyang dodged her hand and looked at Feng Zhangxia in disgust. Feng Zhangxia froze and asked in confusion, "Yangyang, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" Zhao Yangyang pouted. "I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well from head to toe." Feng Zhangxia thought that Zhao Yangyang was sick and looked at him with concern. "You're not feeling well from head to toe? What's wrong? Yangyang, let grandma take a look." Seeing Feng Zhangxia's hand reaching over, Zhao Yangyang pushed her hand away. "Don't touch me." "Hey, what's wrong with you, child? Grandma is worried about you. Why do you look so unhappy?" Feng Zhangxia was a little unhappy. She felt that Zhao Yangyang was acting weird, so she reprimanded him. Zhao Yangyang turned his head away angrily and ignored Feng Zhangxia. Feng Zhangxia looked at Shen Pan and asked, "Pan, what's wrong with Yangyang? Who made him angry?" Shen Pan pursed her lips and replied awkwardly, "Mom, Yangyang is fine. He's just a little unhappy." "Why is he unhappy?" "Well." Shen Pan didn't know how to explain it, but she replied slowly, "Mom, it's nothing. Yangyang just doesn't want to come back to Grandpa and Grandma's place. I insisted on bringing him back, but he kept arguing with me on the way back. He said he didn't want to go home." Feng Zhangxia didn't feel good when she heard that. He was such a young child, yet he knew where to stay. Although Shen Pan's family was a lot better and she was able to eat and drink well every day, Zhao Yangyang's name was still Zhao Yangyang. If she didn't bring him back, he would have to come back anyway. As the saying goes, if a dog doesn't mind being poor, a family member shouldn't mind being poor either. What a heartless grandson. I've always been so nice to him. Yet he doesn't want to come back after just a few days at Grandma's place. Doesn't he think about his grandmother? Feng Zhangxia said unhappily. Shen Pan felt even more awkward. She comforted Feng Zhangxia. "Mom, Yangyang is just a child. Why are you being so calculative with a child? He doesn't know any better." Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly and blamed everything on Shen Pan. "He may be insensible, but don't tell me you're insensible. It's fine if the child is young. Just educate him well. You have to reason with him. Don't let him know how to despise the poor and love the rich at such a young age. Our Tianlong married you, not to marry into your Shen family. You have to let the child know which family he should be related to." Seeing Feng Zhangxia vent her anger on her, Shen Pan also felt bad. "Mother, what are you saying? Even if a child wants to reason with him, he won't understand. She does eat well, dress well, and sleep well at Grandma's house. Our family can't compare to her, so there's nothing we can do about it," Shen Pan replied. The reason why she was able to marry Zhao Tianlong was because of Zhao Tianlong. In order to be together with Zhao Tianlong, she was willing to lower herself to marry him. However, this did not mean that she would be mistreated by her in-laws. Don't you know old Zhao's family background? How much had she suffered since her marriage? Originally, she was the young miss of a large family. She had never lived a day of hardship in her mother's family. However, after she came to her husband's family, she did not have a single good day. Why didn't Feng Zhangxia think about the good things she had done, or the grievances she had suffered? Instead, she blamed her for every little thing. It was only at this moment that Shen Pan realized the difference between her mother and her mother-in-law. Chapter 2201. The more Shinpan thought about it, the more aggrieved she felt. Ever since Jinju married over, she felt that her mother-in-law had changed a lot. She no longer treated her as well as before. What if they lived together for the rest of their lives? Not only did she not want to live with the second branch of the family, but she also did not want to live with her parents-in-law. However, Shinpan knew that Zhao Tianlong was a filial son. It was impossible for Zhao Tianlong to abandon Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi. She had to think of a way to separate them when the time came. When Feng Zhangxia heard Shinpan's words, she felt that Shinpan despised the old Zhao family. She coldly replied, "Haha, mother and son are the same. If you think the Shen family is good, then don't come back. When you come back, I still have to serve you and your son. It's not like I owe anyone anything." Shinpan's face immediately darkened and became very ugly. Jinju stood at the side, feeling very awkward. She did not know what to say. She did not want the family to quarrel and cause a deadlock. It was also very awkward for her to stay there. Thus she said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, don't scold sister-in-law. Yang is just a child. There's nothing to be calculative about." She then said to Shinpan, "Sister-in-law, don't take mother's words to heart. She's just saying it." Shinpan felt wronged and held back her tears. She did not want to cause any more trouble. After all, Zhao Tianlong's exam day was approaching. The results would be out in a few days. As long as he passed, he would be able to return home in glory. She could endure for a few more days and wait for Zhao Tianlong to return in glory. If she caused any trouble with Feng Zhangxia now, she would inevitably become hostile with Feng Zhangxia. Zhao Tianlong would be stuck in the middle. If Zhao Tianlong resented her because of Feng Zhangxia, it would not be worth it. Feng Zhangxia and Shinpan did not say much. However, both of them had a grudge in their hearts. Jinju pursed her lips and said, all right, mother. Let's continue helping sister-in-law move things." Feng Zhangxia replied faintly. She then moved the things in the carriage into Shinpan's room. Every time Shinpan came back from her maternal home, she would bring a lot of things that were delicious. Of course, no one else had a share of these things. Every time, it was Shinpan who brought Zhao Yangyang to eat. After everything was moved into Shinpan's room, Shinpan took Jinju's hand and said intimately, "Second sister-in-law, thank you for speaking up for me today." Jinju smiled and shook her head. "Sister-in-law, it's fine. We're family. You don't have to be so polite with me." Shinpan couldn't help but be moved. She held Jinju's hand and continued, "Second sister-in-law, in this family, we're about the same age and we both married into old Zhao's family. I can only talk to you. Sister-in-law, we're sisters-in-law. It's only right for us to help each other. In the future, if you have anything on your mind, you can tell me. There's nothing to be embarrassed about between us." "Aha!" Shinpan responded as she held onto Jinju's hand even more intimately. Then she brought some things back from her maternal home to Jinju. She said to Jinju, "Second sister-in-law, these are some pastries. Take them and eat with second brother." Jinju was a little embarrassed to accept it, so she declined. "No need, sister-in-law. You're too polite." Chapter 2202. Sister-in-law. Seeing that Jinju was about to decline, Shinpan put on a stern face and pretended to be angry. "Second sister-in-law, if you continue to be like this, I'm going to get angry. I'm just giving you something, yet you don't accept it. It means you don't care about me as your sister-in-law." Since Shinpan said this, Jinju felt embarrassed to refuse again. "All right then, sister-in-law. I'll accept it. Thank you." Shinpan patted Jinju's shoulder and acted very intimate with her. "It's fine, second sister-in-law. You're welcome. It's just some snacks. Take them back and let second brother have a taste." Jinju knew that Shinpan was afraid she wouldn't be able to accept it. No matter how cheap these pastries were, country people couldn't afford them. They cost at least a few hundred copper coins. Shinpan pulled Jinju into the room and chatted for a while before letting Jinju leave. After chatting for a while, Jinju felt that her sister-in-law's life in her in-laws' house wasn't easy. After all, Her sister-in-law was a young miss from a rich family, unlike her who was just a country girl. Shinpan, or would suffer if she married into the countryside. When she left the room again, the ox cart parked in front of the courtyard had already left. Zhao Ping and Qin Yuan had already gone back. At Zhao Yun'er's house, Zhao Yun'er wanted to ask Zhao Tianen what Zhao Ping had said to him, but Zhao Tianen didn't want to say. Seeing that Zhao Tianen was determined not to say anything, Zhao Yun'er was too embarrassed to ask. But when she saw Zhao Tianan's expression, she didn't need to think to know that it wasn't anything good. Tianan, if there's anything, you have to tell second sister. Don't keep it to yourself, okay? Zhao Tianan lowered his head and responded. His mood was a bit bad, so he turned and entered the room. Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly and didn't say anything else. At night, after Tian and Douda fell asleep, Zhao Yun'er finally found some time to drag her tired body to bed. In the past few days, because of Zhao Tianan's wedding, she had been very busy, and there were many things to do at home, so she felt very tired. As soon as his head landed on the bed, his eyelids immediately closed and he almost fell asleep. Mu Lianfeng had been waiting for Zhao Yun'er for a long time. As soon as he saw Zhao Yun'er get on the bed, he immediately pressed on her. Yun'er, he whispered Zhao Yun'er's name, only to find that Zhao Yun'er had already fallen asleep. Mu Lianfeng was at a loss as to what to do with the hard thing below. He didn't know what to do with it. Yun'er. Mu Lianfeng patted Zhao Yun'er's body and continued to call out to her. Only then did Zhao Yun'er reply in a daze. What's wrong? Is it dawn? I want to sleep, but I can't get up. Let me sleep for a while. Looking at Zhao Yun'er's tiredness, even if there was a part of his body that urgently wanted to relieve, he resisted. He couldn't bear to do it to her. It's not dawn yet. Go to sleep, Mu Lianfeng said softly in Zhao Yun'er's ear. After listening to Mu Lianfeng's words, Zhao Yun'er fell asleep within a few seconds. Mu Lianfeng smiled helplessly and lay down beside Zhao Yun'er, wrapping one arm around Zhao Yun'er's waist. Hugging Zhao Yun'er to sleep, there is a kind of unspeakable peace of mind, and also a kind of unspeakable happiness. Hey Yun'er, I may have to leave in a few days, Mu Lianfeng muttered. Chapter 2203. The Emperor suddenly sent someone over with a letter. The contents of the letter mention the situation in the Great Zhou country. Although the Great Zhou country was peaceful, it was only flourishing on the surface. The situation in the court was not good and not all the power was in the Emperor's hands. The small countries on the border kept causing trouble, challenging the authority of the Great Zhou country. Although the Great Zhou country didn't put these small countries in their eyes, they couldn't not deal with them. If the Great Zhou country continued to endure, it would make the court seem weak, and these small countries would cause more trouble. What they needed to do now was to control the situation in the court. This could be done slowly by the Emperor. The other point was to send people to intimidate the small countries, making them not cause trouble as they wished. The person sent had to be someone the Emperor trusted. If they succeeded in intimidating them, they could promote this person to a position in the court, and let the Emperor send in more of his trusted aides. The Emperor's choice was Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng was not a civil official. He had some achievements in leading troops. He had read various military books and had been carefully taught by his previous great general master. Although he didn't participate in large battles, he did participate in some small battles before. Mu Lianfeng naturally knew that if the Emperor wanted to arrange it, he couldn't reject it. Otherwise, it would make the Emperor angry and cause trouble. He would leave Sun City and head to the border sooner or later. Once he went to take care of the war, he would be separated from Zhao Yun'er for a while. No one knew how long it would take to lead the troops to war. It could be as short as a few months or as long as a few years. He didn't want to be separated from Zhao Yun'er for this long. His wife and child were here, he couldn't leave them, but he had no other choice. He had to properly discuss this matter with Zhao Yun'er, but he was afraid that Zhao Yun'er would be sad when she heard that he was leaving. He hesitated on how to say it, holding it in for several days without saying anything. He planned on properly discussing it with Zhao Yun'er today, but he never thought that Zhao Yun'er would already be asleep. Forget it, forget it. If I don't talk about it today, I'll talk about it in the future. I'll let Zhao Yuner have a good sleep. It just so happened that he was busy during this period of time, so he could accompany Zhao Yuner for a period of time. When he left, presumably old Zhao's family would be more free, and Zhao Yuner would not be so tired. Mu Lianfeng's face was pressed against Zhao Yuner's back. Smelling the fresh fragrance of Zhao Yuner's body, he was very relieved and slowly fell asleep. The next morning, Zhao Yuner had to get up and go to Yang City to buy some things. In less than 2 days, Zhao Tianan would get married. A lot of things had to be prepared. Otherwise, they would be in a mess on that day. This time, Zhao Yuner was preparing to go to town to buy some things she needed and inform her fifth uncle, old Zhao's Zhao Wensheng's family's happy event. Zhao Tianan's wedding was not the marriage of old Zhao's daughter. In order to show respect to Zhao Wensheng, it was necessary to invite Zhao Wensheng back to attend. However, Zhao Wensheng's relationship with Hu Chunhua and Zhao Baoshan was very strained, so he hadn't come back for a while. This time, Zhao Wensheng was invited to attend the third branch's happy event. It had nothing to do with the other old Zhao's family members. Zhao Yuner had a good impression of her fifth uncle. If he was like Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wenshi, she probably wouldn't have specially informed Zhao Tianan's wedding. Chapter 2204. Before she stepped out of the door, she saw Zhao Wenshui running over. It was the first time she had seen Zhao Wenshui get up so early. His second uncle was usually very lazy and would usually sleep very late. Sometimes, he would even sleep until the sun was high up in the sky. The sun was so hot that he didn't even get up. It was really rare for him to get up so early in the morning. As soon as Zhao Wenshui saw Zhao Yuner, he immediately went over with a smile and called out to Zhao Yuner, "Zhao Yuner." Zhao Yuner asked suspiciously, "Second uncle, why did you come to my house? Why are you here so early in the morning?" Zhao Wenshui chuckled and discussed with Zhao Yuner in a flattering tone. "Yuner, second uncle has something to trouble you with. I don't know if you are willing to." Zhao Yuner refused without hesitation. "Second uncle, don't say any more. I don't want to." Zhao Wenshui was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Zhao Yuner to refuse so straightforwardly. He hadn't said anything yet, so why was Zhao Yuner unwilling? "Yuner, I haven't said anything yet." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yuner with an aggrieved face, looking very sad. Zhao Yuner was a little speechless. She didn't have to think about it. Zhao Wenshui definitely wouldn't say anything good. In that case, why didn't she let Zhao Wenshui say it? As long as Zhao Wenshui didn't say anything, she didn't have to do it. It would save her a lot of trouble. "Second uncle, then don't say anything. If there's nothing else, I'm leaving." Zhao Yuner didn't give Zhao Wenshui a chance to speak and wanted to leave. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly stopped Zhao Yuner. "Yuner, I really have to trouble you with this matter. Please listen to me." Zhao Yuner snappily replied, "I say, second uncle, if you have something to say it quickly. If you have fart, say it quickly. Don't hesitate to say it. It looks like you want to say it but don't say it." Zhao Wenshui secretly cursed Zhao Yuner for being vulgar, but he didn't dare to say anything. "Little girl Yin. It's actually not a big deal. I just want to ask if you can send me to the town. I want to find little girl Jing. However, there are only ox carts going to Yang City in our village. There are no ox carts going to town. You also know that second uncle's body isn't good. Our Shuilan village is still a long way from the town. If we walk there, your second uncle's body won't be able to bear it. That's why I thought of coming over to ask if you can send me your donkey." After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he looked pleadingly at Zhao Yuner, afraid that Zhao Yuner would refuse him. Zhao Yuner frowned. Naturally, she was unwilling. However, Zhao Wenshui was lucky this time. She happened to be going to town. Otherwise, it would be impossible for her to personally send Zhao Wenshui over. When Zhao Wenshui saw that Zhao Yuner was silent, he thought that Zhao Yuner wouldn't agree to his request. He hurriedly said, "Yuner, please help your second uncle. I really can't walk. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come over to trouble you. Yuner, second uncle knows that you have a good heart. You definitely can't bear to see me walk over personally." Zhao Yuner was very speechless. She beckoned Zhao Wenshui to get on the ox cart. Okay, second uncle, come on up. Zhao Wenshui immediately jumped up happily. Ah, Yun'er, you agree? Zhao Yun'er replied in annoyance. Second uncle, can you stop talking nonsense and be long-winded? Seeing that Zhao Yun'er couldn't be bothered with him, Zhao Wenshui shut his mouth resentfully. Chapter 2205. Zhao Wenshui sat on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart and happily headed towards the town. Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart had been modified, so it wasn't bumpy. Because there was a soft cushion under the cart, it was very comfortable. Compared to an ox cart, Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart was definitely a very comfortable tool for traveling. Although it couldn't be compared to a horse carriage, it was good enough for a country bumpkin. Zhao Wenshui had sat on an ox cart before, and he still remembered how crowded and bumpy it was. This time, sitting on Zhao Yun'er's donkey cart, Zhao Wenshui couldn't help but praise. Yun'er lass, your family's donkey cart is really not bad. It's quite comfortable to sit on. In my opinion, it's not worse than those horse carriages. And your family's donkey looks pretty good too. Other donkeys run very slowly, but your family's donkey runs as if it's flying. Not bad, not bad. On one hand, Zhao Wenshui was praising him. On the other hand, he was also trying to flatter him. He thought that Zhao Yun'er would be happy to hear it, so he also chatted with Zhao Yun'er for a while. Otherwise, it would be really awkward for the two of them to sit opposite each other in the horse carriage. Who knew that Zhao Yun'er would reply with disdain, second uncle, can you sit properly and stop talking nonsense? Don't you find it annoying to be long-winded? Zhao Wenshui felt wronged in his heart. How was he annoying? Couldn't he talk to Zhao Yun'er for a while? This wretched lass didn't care about him, an elder, at all. In any case, he was her second uncle, right? How could she treat him like this? Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to scold Zhao Yun'er, so he continued to say gently, Yun'er lass, there are only the two of us on this road. It's good to talk to each other to relieve the loneliness. Otherwise, won't you be bored if the two of us don't talk? Zhao Yun'er pursed her lips and replied to Zhao Wenshui, I'm not bored. Yun'er, you're not bored, but I'm bored. Why don't you accompany second uncle for a few words? You see, us uncle and nephew don't usually have a chance to talk much. It just so happens that the road to the town is long. Let's have some fun. After we're done, we'll arrive at the town. Zhao Wenshui laughed mischievously with a sly smile. Zhao Yun'er rolled her eyes and scolded Zhao Wenshui unhappily. Second uncle, we can't talk together. Just shut up. I want to be alone. Zhao Wenshui could no longer hold back the anger in his heart as he hooted. I say, Yun'er girl, how can you be like this? Your second uncle only said a few words to you. How is that nonsense? How could a junior speak to an elder like that? Is this how your mother taught you? You have no manners at all. If my Jing was like this, I would have slapped her. Zhao Yun'er stared coldly at Zhao Wenshui. Her second uncle was a troublemaker. If she had known this would happen, she wouldn't have brought him along. Afraid that Zhao Wenshui would continue to nag, Zhao Yun'er simply threatened, Second uncle, from now on, if you dare to say another word, I'll immediately throw you off my donkey cart. You can walk on your own. Zhao Wenshui's face immediately turned green when he heard this. He had to admit that Zhao Yun'er's threat scared him this time. There was still a long way to go. If she threw him off now, he probably wouldn't be able to climb to the town. His legs would definitely be crippled. Chapter 2206. When they arrived at the bustling town, Zhao Wenshui then ingratiatingly whispered into Zhao Yun'er's ear, Lass Yun'er, can you speak now? Zhao Yun'er didn't utter a sound. She didn't agree, but she didn't object either. Zhao Wenshui mustered up his courage and said, Lass Yun'er, send me back to the Zheng estate first. I'll go find Lass Jing. After I'm done looking for Lass Jing, you can come pick me up and take me back with you. Zhao Yun'er frowned. She disliked Zhao Wenshui for being so nosy. Second uncle, I've already brought you here. Do you still want me to take you back to the village? Judging from Zhao Yun'er's words, she didn't want to take Zhao Wenshui back. Zhao Wenshui was stunned. Then he said with a bitter face, Yun'er, if you don't take me back, who will? Anyway, you've already done your part, and brought me to the town. You definitely have to give me a lift when you go back. Zhao Yun snorted and said unhappily, but second uncle, that's not what you said before I brought you here. Aya Yun, isn't it just an extra trip? It's not a big deal. Why are you so stingy that you don't want to take me back? Zhao Yun inwardly scolded Zhao Wenshui for not having any self-awareness. The reason why she didn't want to take him back with her was that her second uncle was too annoying. If it were someone else, she wouldn't have such an attitude. Second uncle, don't push your luck. There are some things that you have to stop before going too far. I don't owe you anything. I brought you here because I wanted to, and I didn't bring you back because I didn't want to. What can you do to me? Zhao Wenshui was instantly dumbfounded. What else could he say in the face of Zhao Yun's attitude? He couldn't say anything. Last Yun's second uncle's fault. How about this? You take me back. I'll give you 3 copper coins as the cost of today's trip. It would cost 3 copper coins to take an ox cart back and forth. Zhao Yun thought that Zhao Wenshui would give a few dozen copper coins. After all, he was basically renting the entire cart. Moreover, the cart was more comfortable than the ox cart, so the price would naturally be higher. The cart. But Zhao Wenshui actually only 3 copper coins. She wasn't arguing with Zhao Wenshui because she felt that the money was too little. She just felt that it was a matter of attitude. She's answers ants antsss. I'll send you to cousin Jinger's place. I still have other things to do. You can rent your own cart when you go back. You don't have to trouble me at all. Zhao Wenshui glanced at Zhao Yun's ugly expression. He wanted to say something, but Zhao Yun glared at him. He was so scared that he quickly shut his mouth. When they arrived at the Qian family, Zhao Yun left Zhao Wenshui behind. She turned around and went to the market to buy some things. After buying the things, Zhao Yun drove the ox cart to her 5th uncle Zhao Wenxing's residence. It wasn't easy for her to come here, so Zhao Yun bought some things. She brought some supplements such as red dates and cinnamon. She also brought some candies. Zhao Yun knew that her 5th uncle had many children at home. The children liked to eat candies. This was purely to satisfy the children. Zhao Yun still remembered the way, so she quickly found her 5th uncle's house. During this period of time, Zhao Wenxing didn't go back, but he was very used to living here. Zhao Yun heard the children playing in the courtyard from afar. They were very happy. Chapter 2207. However, when his 5th uncle saw it, he rushed out of the house in a hurry and went to Jin Suizhuan, snatching the things in her hands. I'll do it. Just leave these things to me. I've already told you many times that you don't have to be so busy. Your health is more important now. Why are you so disobedient? Zhao Wenxing looked concerned and nervous. Jin Suizhuan smiled and shook her head. It's okay. Don't be too nervous. It's just a little work. I can do it. It's not like before. You're pregnant. What if you affect the baby by doing this and that? Just leave all the big and small things in the house to me and let me do it. You can't do it. Jin Suizhuan looked at Zhao Wenxing's overly nervous appearance and found it funny. At the same time, she felt warm in her heart. The more nervous Zhao Wenxing was, the more he cared about her. It was rare for a man to be like this. Her previous men didn't care about her so much. None of the women she knew had men like Zhao Wenxing. After all, the status of women in this era was very low. Even if they were pregnant with a big belly, as long as the man didn't care, the woman still had to work in the fields. When she was pregnant with her previous children, which one of them didn't have to work before giving birth? Now that she was less than 2 months pregnant, Zhao Wenxing didn't let her do this and that. He was too nervous and precious. A sweet and happy smile appeared on Jin Suizhuan's lips. She replied to Zhao Wenxing, "It's okay. These small things won't affect the baby. I used to be able to carry a big belly and do heavier work without any problems. After being pregnant, I can't sit for a long time. It's not good for the baby in the belly. Moreover, it's more difficult to give birth. I can move my muscles by doing small things. It's good for the baby and me." However, Zhao Wenxing said stubbornly, "That won't do. The past is the past. This is the present. If I tell you not to do these work, You can't do it. If you feel that you can't sit for a long time, then walk in the yard. Anyway, you can't do these work. As Zhao Wensheng spoke, he had already taken the work from Jin Suizhuan. Seeing Zhao Wensheng like this, Jin Suizhuan's face was full of helplessness, but she could only let Zhao Wensheng do it. Since marrying Zhao Wensheng, Jin Suizhuan had experienced a kind of happiness that she had never experienced before. She had suffered for so long with a child alone. She didn't expect that she would meet a man who was so considerate and loved her. Now it seemed that Zhao Wensheng was the happiness that the heavens. Jin Suizhuan couldn't dissuade Zhao Wensheng, so she could only watch Zhao Wensheng work while she stood aside. The children at home were still running around in the yard. Zhao Wensheng was afraid that these children would accidentally hurt Jin Suizhuan. Big girl, run slower. Don't accidentally bump into your mother. Your mother is pregnant with a little brother, Zhao Wensheng warned. The girl nodded sensibly. Yes, yes. Daddy, I know. I'll be careful. I won't touch my mother. Be it because Zhao. With regards to Zhao Wensheng, this daddy, the big girl accepted him very easily. Of course, she treated Zhang Wensheng as her own father and listened to Zhao Wensheng's words. Chapter 2208. The girl grinned. The smile on the 3-year-old child's face was very pure, similar to Daoda's smile. Zhao Yin looked from afar and her mood brightened. A smile hung on the corner of her mouth. Jin Suizhuan patted the girl's head and said to her, Girl, take your friends to other places to play. This courtyard is a bit small, so it's not convenient to run around. The girl nodded heavily. Okay, mother. Just as the girl was about to leave the courtyard, she saw Zhao Yin sitting on the donkey cart outside the courtyard. Because she had seen Zhao Yin before, the little girl's memory was very good. She actually remembered her. Aunt Yin, you're here? The girl sweetly called out. Zhao Yin also smiled and got down from the donkey cart, carrying something in her hand. Zhao Wenhua and Jin Suizhuan only then noticed Zhao Yin's arrival. Zhao Wensheng was a bit surprised because he hadn't interacted with old Zhao's family for a long time. He didn't expect Zhao Yin to suddenly come over without greeting him. Yin girl, why are you here? Zhao Wensheng greeted and asked curiously. Zhao Yin smiled. What's wrong, fifth uncle? Can I come over to see you? Zhao Wensheng hurriedly waved his hand. Of course you can. Fifth uncle is just a bit excited to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Come quickly, come in and sit. Don't stand in the courtyard. As he spoke, Zhao Wensheng welcomed Zhao Yin into the house. Jin Suizhuan was also very polite behind Zhao Wensheng. She said to Zhao Yin, Yes, quickly come in and sit. I'll get you a cup of water. It's so early in the morning and the water hasn't been filled. Jin Suizhuan hurriedly walked into the kitchen. Zhao Yin said, Fifth aunt, there's no need to trouble yourself. I'm not thirsty. You don't have to trouble yourself. Just listening to the conversation between Zhao Yin and Jin Suizhuan, Zhao Yin knew that Jin Suizhuan was pregnant. Although it was inconvenient for this pregnant woman to move around, she wouldn't stay for long anyway. Naturally, there was no need for Jin Suizhuan to specially pour a glass of water for her. Jin Suizhuan insisted. Yes, it's not troublesome for me to get a pot of water. It was already boiling when I was cooking this morning. Now I just have to go and pack it up. Zhao Wensheng said from the side. Yin, just let her go. Zhao Yin just let Jin Suizhuan go. When they entered the house, Zhao Yin put down the things in her hands and said to Zhao Wensheng, Fifth uncle, it's not easy for you to come here. These are some supplements I bought for fifth aunt. She can eat them to nourish her body. When Zhao Wensheng saw the good things on the table, he naturally felt embarrassed to accept them. Yin, you're really too much. These things are very expensive. Why did you bring so many of them over all of a sudden? You'd better take them back. Then you or your mother can eat them to nourish their bodies. Your fifth aunt doesn't need them. While Zhao Wensheng was speaking, Jin Suizhuan had already come in with a kettle. When she saw the good things on the table, she hurriedly said, Yes, these things are too expensive. Yin, your fifth uncle and I appreciate your kindness. We can't accept these things. You'd better take them back. Zhao Yun'er's face was stiff, and she seemed a little unhappy. Fifth uncle, fifth aunt, I specially bought these things for you. How can we not accept them? Don't talk about how expensive they are. We're a family. How can we be so calculative? Chapter 2209. But this is really too expensive. Jin Suizhuan looked conflicted. If it was really cheap, she might accept it. If it was really too expensive, she always felt that she was taking advantage of others. She had always been a person who didn't like to take advantage of others. Zhao Yun'er insisted. Okay, fifth uncle, fifth aunt, you really don't have to be polite with me. I only come here once in a few hundred years, and I don't bring you these every time I come. Fifth uncle used to treat me well. As a junior, I should be filial to you, right? Zhao Yun'er looked at the conflicted faces of the two and felt a little helpless. If these good things were sent to the first and second branch, she probably didn't have to say anything. The two of them would happily accept it. However, when it came to Zhao Wensheng, the husband and wife didn't like to take advantage of others. They would refuse to accept even the slightest good thing. Fifth uncle, it's okay if you don't eat these things, but if you give them to fifth aunt to eat, it's really good for her health. I think fifth aunt's complexion doesn't look very good, so she needs to eat more longan and red dates to replenish her complexion. Zhao Wensheng was a little moved when he heard this. Indeed, as Zhao Yun'er said, it was okay if he didn't eat it himself. Now that Jin Suizhuan was pregnant, she needed to nourish her body. He didn't earn much money himself. Most of the time, the monthly allowance given by the academy was used to buy books. Of course, this was under Jin Suizhuan's insistence and support. After buying those books, his life naturally became a lot more difficult. Basically, he couldn't take out the money to buy those good things for Jin Suizhuan to nourish her body. After hearing Zhao Yun'er's words, Zhao Wensheng glanced at Jin Suizhuan's complexion. It was good to nourish her body. If he continued to refuse, Jin Suizhuan would only be the one who suffered. Zhao Wensheng looked at Zhao Yun'er and nodded in response. Okay, Yun'er, fifth uncle will accept these things. You're too filial. Fifth uncle will remember your kindness in the future. Zhao Yun'er smiled slightly. Fifth uncle, you're an elder, so it's right. Jin Suizhuan was a little embarrassed as she tugged at Zhao Wensheng's clothes, indicating that Zhao Wensheng shouldn't say it. Zhao Wensheng winked at Jin Suizhuan and whispered something in her ear. Since it's Yun'er's filial piety, let's accept it, lest we let her down. Later, you can take these things and stew them to nourish your body. Sigh, now that you're pregnant, you have to take good care of yourself. You can't suffer, and you can't let the child in your belly suffer. When Jin Suizhuan saw the concern and affection in Zhao Wensheng's eyes, she felt a sense of happiness. This time, she obeyed Zhao Wensheng's arrangement and accepted Zhao Yun'er's gift. When the girl saw that there were guests, she was very happy. Zhao Yun'er took out the candies and handed them to the girl. She said to the girl, "Come, big girl, this is what Aunt Yun specially brought for you." "I didn't forget, big girl." When the girl saw the candies in Zhao Yun'er's hands, her eyes lit up. It could be seen that the girl was very excited and happy. However, the girl was a very sensible child. Usually, she wouldn't go in to take things that others gave her, even if it was something she liked. She would first get Jin Suizhuan's consent. Only when Jin Suizhuan nodded, would she reach out to take it. Chapter 2210. Zhao Yun'er was afraid that Jin Suizhuan wouldn't let the girl eat it, so she said, "Fifth aunt, it's just a little candy. It's not worth much. Let the girl eat it." Jin Suizhuan looked at the girl's greedy expression and felt a little heartache. Coupled with Zhao Yun'er's words, she nodded at the girl. Seeing that Jin Suizhuan agreed, the girl shyly took the candy from Zhao Yun'er's hand. Jin Suizhuan patted the girl's head and said, "Hurry up and say thank you." The girl's mouth revealed a sweet smile. Her smile was like the morning sun in spring, very infectious. "Aunt Yun, thank you." It could be seen that the girl was well educated by Jin Suizhuan. Children who were a few years old basically relied on their parents to educate them. Children who were well educated by their parents would be good. If their parents didn't teach them well, those naughty children would appear. Just like old Zhao's second branch. Her cousin Zhao Tianyu had been doted on by Li Chuiying and influenced by Zhao Wenshui's behavior. He became arrogant and domineering. He didn't listen to reason at all, and was a complete naughty child. This kind of child liked to stir up trouble, and no one liked her no matter where she went. Unlike the girl, who was so polite and sensible that everyone loved her. Even if they wanted to hate her, they couldn't. Zhao Yin'er shook her head and smiled as she replied, "You're welcome." The girl had already happily opened the candy wrapper and stuffed it into her mouth. The sweet taste overflowed her mouth and filled her entire heart. Sure enough, the less a child got, the easier it was to be satisfied. Just like a long time ago, Douda was also very excited when he saw candy. Now that he had eaten a lot of candy, he naturally didn't care much about it. Zhao Yin'er looked at Zhao Wenxing and Jin Suizhuan and asked with concern, "I just heard from fifth uncle that fifth aunt is pregnant." Zhao Wenxing's face instantly turned red. He replied to Zhao Yin'er a little embarrassedly, "Yes, she's pregnant. Your fifth aunt is now 2 months pregnant." Jin Suizhuan also seemed a little embarrassed. She stood beside Zhao Wenxing with her head lowered. Zhao Wenxing was shy and excited to be a father for the first time. Although Jin Suizhuan had given birth before, this was her and Zhao Wenxing's child. The meaning was very different. Both of them cherished the child in their stomach very much, just as they cherished this happiness. This child was the fruit of their love, and his arrival meant that their love had borne fruit. Zhao Yin'er smiled and said, "Then I really have to congratulate fifth uncle and fifth aunt. Time really flies. In the blink of an eye, even fifth aunt is pregnant. If my parents heard about it, they would definitely be happy." Speaking old Zhao's family's situation. He didn't know the family's family have a families. Yi. T.S. It wasn't that he didn't want to go back, but for Jin Suizhuan, he had no choice but to not go back. Based on his understanding of Hu Chunhua, bringing Jin Suizhuan back to old Zhao's family would only make Jin Suizhuan feel wronged. Even if Jin Suizhuan was pregnant and their family's fifth branch had an heir, Zhao Wenxing never brought this news back. Yin'er, your father, your mother, your grandparents, uncles, and aunts, are they all okay?" Zhao Wenxing knew that Zhao Wenxing was still concerned about old Zhao's family's situation, so he said with a smile, "They're all fine. A lot of things have happened during this time." Chapter 22:11. For example, Zhao Ping'er, Zhao Jing'er, and Zhao Xinhui were all married. Although Zhao Xinhui was divorced later on, she was still married after all. Of course, there was also Zhao Tianhu's marriage and Zhao Wenshui's and Li Chuiying's divorce. Zhao Wenxing couldn't help but sigh when he heard that. It turned out that so many big things had happened in old Zhao's family in just a few months. If he hadn't heard Zhao Yin'er's words, he really wouldn't have imagined it. After Zhao Yin'er finished speaking, Zhao Wenxing couldn't help but sigh. It's only been a few months, but it feels like things have changed. Zhao Yin'er chuckled. Yes, a lot of things have happened during this period of time. But fifth uncle, if you have time, it's okay to go back and take a look. At most, you can just ignore what my grandfather and grandmother say. Zhao Wenxing nodded. Okay, fifth uncle, if you have time, go back and take a look. If he didn't go back, he felt that home was no longer home. The place he had stayed for many years had become strangely unfamiliar. Yin'er, do you have anything else to do this time? Zhao Yin'er nodded. My brother Tianan is going to get married. This time, I specially came to fifth uncle's place to tell fifth uncle. When Tianan gets married, if you and fifth aunt have time, you can go and attend. Zhao Wenxing heard that Zhao Tianan was getting married. Although Zhao Tianan was still young, he didn't expect it to be so soon. Okay. Fifth uncle definitely won't miss Tianan's wedding. What day is it? Tell me, and I'll bring your fifth aunt over. It was just right that he used this as an excuse to go back to his hometown. He only hoped that his parents wouldn't say anything for the sake of the child in Jin Suizhuan's belly. After all, he and Jin Suizhuan were already living together. It was completely meaningless to be picky. Zhao Yin'er told him the date, which was a few days later. Zhao Wenxing also agreed to go. Zhao Yin, chatted with the fifth branch for a while, but did not stay for long. Instead, she got up. As for Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Yin'er didn't want to pay attention to him. That second uncle of hers was really annoying. If she brought him back, it would only add to her troubles. She might as well let Zhao Wenshui fend for himself. Zhao Yin'er drove Xiaomao back to the village leisurely, but they still had to pass by the Zheng family's courtyard on the way back. When Zhao Yin'er passed by, she saw Zhao Wenshui being thrown out. The person who threw Zhao Wenshui was a servant of the Zheng family. Zhao Yin'er was stunned. Didn't Zhao Wenshui go to find Zhao Jing? After all, Zhao Wenshui was Zhao Jing's father. How could he be thrown out so casually? The way the Zheng family treated Zhao Wenshui obviously showed that they didn't take Zhao Jing seriously. At that time, young Master Zheng accompanied Zhao Jing back to her parents' home. It seemed that he treated Zhao Jing well, but now it was obvious that he was just doing it to save face. In fact, Zhao Jing was just a concubine, a tool to give birth to a child. Her status in the Zheng family wasn't high. She was just a country girl. The Zheng family didn't take her seriously at all. However, Zhao Yin'er was curious about what Zhao Wenshui had done to be thrown out by the Zheng family. It should be something that angered the Zheng family. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so extreme. With Zhao Yin'er's understanding of Zhao Wenshui, this second uncle of hers was indeed capable of doing anything. Chapter 22:12. If she hadn't brought him along, none of this would have happened. After Zhao Wenshui was thrown out, young Master Zheng also walked out of the Zheng family's mansion and said to Zhao Wenshui, who was on the ground in a low voice, "Although you are my father-in-law, I will respect you for Jing'er's sake. However, I won't allow you to fool around and take whatever you want from the Zheng family. When you married Jing, the Zheng family already gave you enough money as a wedding gift. Now you continue to make a fuss about money. Do you take us for fools? No matter how rich the Zheng family is, we won't give it away for free." Zhao Wenshui was sprawled on the ground. He had been thrown quite badly by the Zheng family's servants. His body was already injured, so how could he withstand such torment? Now that he was about to be thrown to the ground, he grimaced in pain and couldn't get up. Zhao Yin'er stopped and watched quietly from a distance. The commotion caused by the Zheng family also attracted passers-by to stop and watch the show. Zhao Wenshui groaned on the ground. When he saw people coming over, Zhao Wenshui immediately pretended to be pitiful and cried, "Help, help! Everyone, help me! I'm about to be beaten to death by my son-in-law. Everyone look, whose son-in-law would beat up his father-in-law like this? Isn't the Zheng family just rich? Everyone look at this. Is this human nature?" Zhao Wenshui had become smarter. He knew that if he said this in front of everyone, the Zheng family wouldn't dare to do anything to him in order to save face. After hearing Zhao Wenshui's words, the onlookers started chattering. "Aya, what's going on? What happened? This person says that he's young Master Zheng's father-in-law, but he's acting like this. Is the Zheng family really going to marry such a person? I don't think so. How can they have such a father-in-law when they're well-matched in terms of social status? I don't think so either. This person is just making things up, right?" Hearing these people's discussion, Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, "Everyone, this is really my son-in-law. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, ask him." Young Master Zheng's face darkened. He glanced at Zhao Wenshui and became even angrier at Zhao Wenshui. It seemed like he was being too polite by throwing him out of the Zheng clan's residence. This kind of person should be beaten up and taught a good lesson. It was then that Zhao Jing'er rushed out. Seeing Zhao Wenshui on the ground, her heart ached. But when she thought about what Zhao Wenshui had done to her, Zhao Jing'er blamed Zhao Wenshui. She had already rejected Zhao Wenshui's offer of money, but who knew that he would directly come to the Zheng family and ask for 100 taels of silver? When she married into the Zheng family, she didn't receive a lot of money every month. It wasn't even 100 taels of silver. After she rejected his offer, Zhao Wenshui thought that she was doing it on purpose and went to look for young Master Zheng. When young Master Zheng expressed his rejection, Zhao Wenshui was very angry. He felt that as his father-in-law, He only came to ask young Master Zheng for 100 taels of silver. The Zheng family was so rich, but they refused to give it to him. Zhao Wenshui made a scene at the Zheng residence, saying that if the Zheng family didn't give him the money, he wouldn't go back and would continue to stay at the Zheng residence. This behavior annoyed and angered the Zheng family, and she was also scolded by the Zheng family. Chapter 22:13. If she really ended up like that one day, it would be her father's fault. Thinking about it, her father was really too much. Not only did he force her mother away, but now he was making trouble for her. He was someone who didn't want to live a good life. Why was it that other people's fathers were quite good, but she had such a father? Putting away the anger in her heart, Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui with some resentment. Zhao Wenshui also saw Zhao Jing'er, so he reached out to greet her. Jing'er, do you pity your father? Look at what your man has done to your father. Zhao Jing'er looked at Zhao Wenshui, then looked at the gloomy young Master Zheng. Taking a deep breath, she said coldly to Zhao Wenshui, Father, don't make trouble here. Today you came here and asked for 100 taels of silver. I really can't give it to you. Also, I'm just a concubine of the Zheng family. The Zheng family was very considerate to me back then and gave me a lot of betrothal gifts. How can you ask for so much money from them now? It's not easy for anyone these days. Even if you have money, you can't afford to waste it. Aren't you no different from a scoundrel today? Zhao Jing'er said with a frown. Jing'er, how can you talk about your father like that? You've only been married for a few days, and you've already forgotten your real father? Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Jing'er angrily. He originally thought that his daughter would feel sorry for him, but now not only did his daughter ignore him, she even spoke up for her in-laws. He was the one who was beaten. Now his bones were broken, and he couldn't even get up. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the sadder he felt. All the grievances he had suffered these days suddenly exploded. Zhao Jing'er also felt very wronged. Her eyes were red as she said, Father, I'm on the side of reason, not family. Don't pester endlessly. Unless you don't want your daughter to live a good life. Young Master Zheng's face was sullen. For the Zheng family's reputation, he clarified in front of so many people. Our Zheng clan will treat father-in-law with respect, but we won't be polite to a scoundrel. When I married Jing as my concubine, I gave her enough betrothal gifts. It can be said that the Zheng family spends more money on a concubine than other families. Now that you're asking for money from the Zheng family, it's our duty to give it to you. But you keep talking about 100 taels of silver. Forgive us, Zheng family, for not doing charity. If you don't keep thinking about causing trouble, the servants of the Zheng family are not raised for nothing. After the onlookers heard these words, they more or less understood what had happened. It turned out that it was just a concubine's biological father, who came to ask for money, asking for 100 taels. It was no wonder that the Zheng family would be angry. The onlookers criticized Zhao Wenshui for his shameless behavior. Isn't marrying your daughter off to be a concubine the same as selling your daughter off? They've already given you a betrothal gift. How can this person have the nerve to come and ask for money? He's so thick-skinned to ask for 100 taels of silver. This 100 taels of silver is enough to buy a few girls. Isn't that so? Even if the Zheng family is rich, they won't be able to withstand such torment. They gave him 100 taels of silver this time. Who knows, he might come again next time. You can't be too accommodating for thick-skinned people. The more accommodating you are, the more unscrupulous they will be. Sigh, what kind of person is this? Young Master Zheng is right. They give it to you out of kindness, but it's our duty not to give it. Since he said he won't give it, then he can't cause trouble in the Zheng family? Chapter 22:14. Haha, he's too embarrassed to reprimand young Master Zheng. Don't embarrass yourself here. Young Master Zheng is too polite. If it were me, I would have thrown him far away to prevent him from shouting at the door. It's so annoying. Zhao Wenshui was dumbfounded when he heard the people around him criticizing him. He thought that his miserable appearance would attract the sympathy of the crowd. This way, he could use the crowd to pressure young Master Zheng, so that the Zheng family would have no choice but to fork out the 100 taels of silver. However, instead of criticizing young Master Zheng, they started criticizing him one by one. These people's words were abnormally unpleasant. Although Zhao Wenshui was thick-skinned, he could not withstand the abuse of so many people. But if he were to leave just like that, not only would he not receive any benefits, but he would also be injured all over his body. He was not willing to accept this. Zhao Wenshui did not comment on the criticism of the people around him. Instead, he pulled a long face and started shouting on the ground. "You hit me. You're being unreasonable. You hurt me so badly. Even if you don't give me 100 taels of silver, you should at least give me some money for medical expenses and nourishment, right?" Now he wanted as much as he could. It was better than not receiving any money at all. The crowd looked at Zhao Wenshui's ruffian behavior. Other than feeling ashamed, they could not do anything to him. Young Master Zheng's face darkened. It was obvious that he was unwilling to pay. Zhao Wenshui continued to cry and make a scene. "If you don't pay for my medical expenses, I'll stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house and not leave. If you provoke me, I'll sue you to the authorities. If the authorities handle it, you'll get into trouble too." Young Master Zheng could not help but sneer when he heard Zhao Wenshui's words. Indeed, one could not reason with such a shameless person. How dare he threaten him now? The Zheng family was not to be trifled with. Young Master Zheng ordered his subordinates, "Throw him away. Don't let him stay at the entrance of the Zheng family's house. Throw him out when he crawls over here." The servants of the Zheng family responded. They walked to Zhao Wenshui and lifted Zhao Wenshui up. Zhao Wenshui and the others were stunned. Seeing that these people had lifted him up, he struggled a few times. Unfortunately, his injured body was no match for the tall and strong servants of the Zheng family. He could not break free at all, and could only let these servants carry him away. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Jing, "Jinger, Jinger, save your father. Jinger, you can't watch your father die, can you? I raised you single-handedly. No matter what, I'm still your father. You can't just ignore me, right?" Looking at Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, Zhao Jinger's heart ached, but she also felt that she had to be ruthless. Otherwise, Zhao Wenshui's actions would definitely implicate her, and she might be chased away by the Zheng family. She was already married. Once she was chased away by the Zheng family, what should she do? Facing young Zheng Wenshui, Zhao Wenshui was carried far away, and the people who were watching the show also dispersed. Zhao Jing sighed. She glanced in the direction where Zhao Wenshui was carried away and turned to enter the Zheng family's house. Her behavior had already told others. She would not care about Zhao Wenshui's father anymore. Young Master Zheng hid the displeasure in his eyes. He flicked his sleeves and snorted. Then he turned and entered the Zheng family's house. Chapter 22:15. Her second uncle was too shameless. How could he do such a thing? His daughter was married. According to the ancient customs, he shouldn't ask his daughter for money unless she was willing to give it to him. Zhao Yin'er knew that although Zhao Jin seemed to have married well, she was just a concubine to the Zheng family. How could a concubine have any say in the family? Young Master Zheng was indeed polite to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Yin'er couldn't help but sympathize with Zhao Jin'er. What kind of father did she have? He was completely cheating his own daughter. If her father was like this, Zhao Yin'er would have cut ties with Zhao Wenhua long ago. Fortunately, although her father did some wrong things in the past, at least he was fine now. Moreover, he was considered a responsible man. Compared to Zhao Wenshui, Zhao Wenhua was much better. Zhao Yin'er sighed slightly and urged Xiao Mao to follow the family Qin servants. Zhao Wenshui was her second uncle after all. She didn't want to care about him and let Zhao Wenshui learn his lesson and die outside. However, she was also afraid that Zhao Wenshui would really die. After all, Zhao Wenshui was a human life. Two villains suddenly appeared in Zhao Yin'er's heart. One of them asked her why she was so soft-hearted. Wouldn't it be better to let someone like Zhao Wenshui die? The other one said that no matter how much of an animal Zhao Wenshui was, he was still a human life. She had been a public servant in the 21st century for more than 10 years. She couldn't forget her original intention and watch others die. What was more important than the people in this world? No matter how bad Zhao Wenshui was, he didn't do many outrageous things. He was just a weirdo. In a dilemma, Zhao Yin decided to save Zhao Wenshui's life first for his father's sake. The servants of the Qin clan still followed Zhao Wenshui for a few hundred meters. When they arrived outside a market where there were not many people, they threw Zhao Wenshui onto the ground. Zhao Wenshui hadn't fully recovered from his injuries. After being thrown to the ground again, he lay on the ground and couldn't get up. However, the Zheng family servants didn't care about Zhao Wenshui's life. After throwing Zhao Wenshui to the ground, they warned Zhao Wenshui, "You'd better not go over there again. Otherwise you will suffer. If you really don't want to live, go ahead and try. Don't blame others if you break an arm or a leg." Zhao Wenshui was frightened and didn't dare to say anything else. He couldn't say anything else and could only curse Zhao Jing and the Zheng family in his heart. In addition to feeling wronged, he also felt that his body was in great pain. He lay on the ground and wailed like a child. "This is too much of a bully. How can you do this to me? Oh, my wife is gone, my daughter is ignoring me, and I have no money. How am I going to live my life? I might as well die today. Once and for all, I won't have so many problems in the future. God, what sin have I committed? Why are you doing this to me? Am I not pitiful enough now? You only know how to bully people. When will you stop bullying me? Mother, it hurts. I can't get up. Mother, come and save me. Your son is dying." Zhao Yin, who was not far away, looked at Zhao Wenshui crying so sadly and was speechless. Chapter 22:16. Besides, today's incident was entirely his own fault. Who could he blame? If he hadn't gone looking for trouble, would he have suffered so much? Looking at Zhao Wenshui lying on the ground like a dead dog, Zhao Yin didn't have a trace of sympathy. She only felt that Zhao Wenshui deserved it. After this ordeal, presumably Zhao Wenshui wouldn't dare to cause trouble in the Zheng family in the future. Zhao Jing would be able to live a peaceful life for a while. Zhao Yin got off the donkey cart and walked towards Zhao Wenshui, who was crying on the ground with snot and tears. "Second uncle!" Zhao Yin shouted. Zhao Wenshui looked up in surprise. He didn't expect Zhao Yin to be there. As an elder, he naturally felt embarrassed to cry like this in front of Zhao Yin. So he quickly wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes. At least he could save some face for himself. Then he asked Zhao Yin with some joy, "Yin girl, why are you here? You didn't leave me behind? I knew that girl, you have a sharp tongue but a soft heart. You would never abandon your second uncle." Zhao Yin rolled her eyes. "Second uncle, I just happened to pass by and saw you. I didn't mean anything else." Zhao Wenshui's heart suddenly sank. He asked weakly, "Then Yin girl, you don't care about me? You really don't want to take me back to the village?" Zhao Yin didn't say anything. Zhao Wenshui cried and complained to Zhao Yin with a begging face. "Yin girl, look at your second uncle being beaten up so pitifully. You have to take me back to the village. Otherwise, I won't be able to get up and will die on the streets." Zhao Yin replied impatiently, Okay, second uncle, stop talking. I'll take you back to the village, okay? I really admire Zhao Wenshui. I don't know who this man learned from. He's as long-winded as a woman. No, the women in this class were not as talkative as Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yin gratefully. At this time, when he was at his most helpless, he thought that the person who helped him was his niece. Zhao Yin looked up and met Zhao Wenshui's eyes. His affectionate eyes made Zhao Yin shiver and quickly look away. Zhao Wenshui was moved to tears. He held Zhao Yin's hand and said, "Yin girl, you are really a filial child. If second uncle can save my life this time, it will be all thanks to you. In the future, second uncle will be very grateful to you and repay your kindness." Zhao Yin was a little uncomfortable with Zhao Wenshui's words. The corners of her mouth twitched a few times. "Second uncle, it's fine as long as you don't make trouble for me. I don't dare to ask for your repayment." Zhao Wenshui's heart was pierced by Zhao Yin's words, but it didn't stop him from being grateful to Zhao Yin. It wasn't easy to help Zhao Wenshui onto the donkey cart. Zhao Yin was so tired that she was sweating profusely. Chapter 22:17. Zhao Wenshui lay on Zhao Jiner's donkey cart, feeling a little lost about the future. All his previous ideas were based on the money that Zhao Jiner gave him. Now that this foundation was gone, all his previous ideas had to be dispelled. Spending money to buy a wife to take care of him was no longer a dream. In the future, it would be difficult for him to not starve to death and take care of himself and Zhao Tianyu. Although he still had some money left in his hands, and he was given some land when they separated from the family. But if he continued like this, he could only sit and eat. The money in his hands was spent very quickly, and it would be easily spent. Zhao Wenshui began to regret. What kind of bastard things had he done? If he hadn't separated from Li Chuiying, perhaps he could have endured. Now he had a feeling that he wouldn't be able to endure until the end. The more Zhao Wenshui thought about it, the more he couldn't help but cry. Just like before. He cried very sadly. But before, in front of Zhao Yin'er, Zhao Wenshui didn't dare to cry. Now that he had put down his pride, he didn't care so much. Zhao Yin'er was very upset by Zhao Wenshui, but when she saw Zhao Wenshui's pitiful appearance, she couldn't tell Zhao Wenshui to shut up at this time, could she? She was afraid that if she scolded Zhao Wenshui, he would feel more wronged, and then even more sad, crying even harder. Zhao Yin'er sighed and whispered to Zhao Wenshui's ear, "Second uncle, I don't know if I should say this." Zhao Wenshui wiped his nose and sobbed. "Yin'er girl, if you have something to say, just say it. Anyway, second uncle is already like this. What else is there to say? I can bear it." After Zhao Wenshui finished speaking, he touched his chest and waited for Zhao Yin'er to criticize him. Zhao Yin'er was slightly stunned. She felt that this kind of Zhao Wenshui made her a little uncomfortable. Why did he become a little different? Well, this kind of Zhao Wenshui didn't seem so annoying. Instead, it was cute. Zhao Yin'er felt that she must be hallucinating. She hurriedly cleared her throat and said, "Second uncle, if you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. Everyone has to be responsible for their own actions. What you did today was your own doing, so you can't blame anyone. Crying wouldn't solve the problem. It could only be said to vent the emotions in her heart. You have to think about the future and think about what you should do in the future. He couldn't just live on in a daze. If I were you, I'd work hard in a down-to-earth manner." He still had a few mu of land in his hands. As long as he worked hard, he would definitely have enough food every year. At the very least, he wouldn't starve to death. If there was work to be done on weekdays, he could also work for others to earn money. If you can bear hardships and work hard, life will not treat you badly. Listening to Zhao Yin'er's words, it was the first time that Zhao Wenshui had heard these great principles. She didn't expect her niece to be so knowledgeable. She spoke so eloquently, as if she was talking to those gentlemen. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and asked Zhao Yin'er in a choked voice, "Last Yin'er, if I work hard in the future, will my life really become better?" "Of course, second uncle. Look at me. Before I met the heir, I relied on my own efforts to earn a lot of money and live the life I have today. If I didn't work hard, would I have gotten those things for nothing?" Zhao Yin'er raised her eyebrows and asked in return. Chapter 22:18. Zhao Yin'er's words ignited a glimmer of hope in his heart. He had never been as determined as he was now. "Yin, you're right. It seems like I have to work harder in the future." Zhao Wenshui stopped crying. He seemed to be saying this to Zhao Yin'er, but also to himself. Zhao Yin'er might feel that this was normal if someone else said it, but it felt out of place when it came from Zhao Wenshui. Could it be that Zhao Wenshui was enlightened after being beaten up? Could he be enlightened by a few words from her? It shouldn't be that easy. Zhao Yin'er wondered if Zhao Wenshui was just lamenting for a moment, and would forget what she said after he recovered. It was rare for Zhao Wenshui to say something like this, so she couldn't possibly discourage him. The corners of Zhao Yin'er's mouth twitched slightly and she asked, "Second uncle, are you stimulated? Have you thought it through and decided to work harder?" After asking this, Zhao Yin'er felt a little regretful. Was she too direct with her question? Fortunately, Zhao Wenshui's expression was as calm as usual. "Yin'er, I'm not upset. I'm just lamenting why I'm still so miserable at my age. I didn't do anything that offended the heavens. How could the heavens treat me like this? Since I can't blame the heavens, can't I reflect on myself? Don't mention it. Thinking about what I've done, I'm just looking for trouble for myself. Now that I'm living such a hard life, there's no one around to take care of me. Isn't it all my own doing? I want to be like before too. How easy would it be to live shamelessly? In the past, there were people who cared about my shamelessness. Is there anyone who cares about me now? Who am I being shameless for? Previously, when I was injured, your grandmother took care of me. I was already despised enough. I'm really afraid that I won't be able to survive this time. Little girl Yin, do you think I'll die? If I can survive this time, I swear to the heavens that I will be a good person and turn over a new leaf. After listening to Zhao Wenshui's nagging, Zhao Yin'er didn't interrupt Zhao Wenshui for the first time. Zhao Wenshui's way of thinking was indeed better than the average person's, but it was not too late for Zhao Wenshui to think it through and realize the mistakes of his actions. There was still a possibility of salvation. As the saying goes, a prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. It was not easy for him to turn over a new leaf, so he had to be given a chance. Zhao Yin'er patted Zhao Wenshui's shoulder and said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second uncle, as long as you don't live as muddle-headed as before and become a good person, our old Zhao family will definitely give you a chance." Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yin'er with a touched expression. Only now did second uncle realize that you are the best niece. The corner of her mouth twitched. Second uncle, I'm just telling the truth. You are my second uncle. I'm happy for you that you can turn over a new leaf. Sigh. Zhao Wenshui sighed heavily. Zhao Yin'er frowned and asked, "Second uncle, what's wrong with you?" Sigh Yin'er, why didn't I figure it out earlier? If I had figured it out earlier, I wouldn't have been despised by the whole family. Your second aunt wouldn't have left me. Now that I'm divorced, I can't expect to marry another wife anyway. Your second aunt is also heartbroken by me. She definitely won't care about me anymore. Chapter 22:19. That's easy, second uncle. There's still a chance. What chance? Although second aunt's heart is broken, she's still worried about Tianyu. If you can really turn over a new leaf as you said and treat second aunt well, in my opinion, as long as you show your sincerity, second aunt will forgive you. Then she will come back to the second branch and live with you. Zhao Wenshui's eyes lit up. Yin'er, is it really possible for second aunt to come back? Yes, but this time, second uncle, if you only talk about it but don't put it into action and don't really treat second aunt well, and let her feel your sincerity, then she might not be willing to come back with you. Zhao Wenshui nodded. That's good. I will definitely treat second aunt well, and treat her well in the future. Zhao Yin'er nodded. Yes, that's good. On the way back, after Zhao Yin'er's advice, Zhao Wenshui felt that he had a new life to look forward to. He had to heal his injuries first. Once he recovered, he would go find Li Chuiying and ask Li Chuiying to come back and live with him. Then he would work hard to earn money, like his third brother's family, and slowly make their lives prosperous. On the way back, Zhao Yin'er's mood was very complicated. She prayed that Zhao Wenshui could really straighten out his thinking and become a better person. At least this way, old Zhao's family would have one less weirdo and their lives would be much more peaceful. In less than half an hour, Zhao Yin'er returned to the village. Because Zhao Wenshui's injuries were too serious, she could only send Zhao Wenshui back to old Zhao's house first. As soon as she arrived at old Zhao's house, new things happened. In the courtyard, Shen Pan stood in the same place, wiping her tears with a handkerchief and crying to Feng Zhangxia. Mother, you know that gold hairpin was my dowry from my mother. It's very valuable. How could it be lost at home? I searched everywhere but couldn't find it. Also, I remember that it was on the dressing table. How could it suddenly disappear? Feng Zhangxia was also anxious. Although the gold hairpin belonged to Shen Pan was her daughter-in-law. Shen Pan's things belonged to the first branch. She had to know why it went missing. Are you sure? You really can't find it? Feng Zhangxia asked with a frown. Shen Pan nodded. Mother, it's really not here. I checked it several times and was very sure of it before I told you. Feng Zhangxia was anxious and muttered to herself. Is it possible that someone stole it? Mother, I also think that someone stole it. Otherwise, my golden hairpin can't possibly grow legs and fly by itself, right? Feng Zhangxia lowered her eyes and said, but we don't usually have outsiders in our courtyard. If someone stole it, could it be that it was done by one of our own? How could that be? Our family is honest and clean. No one would do such a dirty thing. When the other members of old Zhao's family heard the commotion, they all gathered in the courtyard. It was a big deal that Shun Pan lost her gold hairpin because a gold hairpin could only be worth a few taels of silver. That much money was enough for a villager to live for a year. They had to treat it seriously. Chapter 22:20. Qian Hongzhao said, could it be that someone accidentally took Pan Er's hairpin and forgot to return it, causing some sort of misunderstanding? That's possible. Did anyone go to Pan Er's room? Did you see Pan Er's golden hairpin? Zhao Baoshan asked the other people in the courtyard. Everyone shook their heads, indicating that they hadn't seen it. At this time, Hu Chunhua couldn't help but ask, hey Hui, last night you showed me a golden hairpin to see if it looked good. Did that hairpin belong to Pan? After Hu Chunhua finished speaking, everyone in old Zhao's courtyard looked at Zhao Xinhui, thinking that Zhao Xinhui had taken it. When Zhao Xinhui saw these people's gazes, she felt that they suspected that she had stolen it. She was very unhappy. Mother, what are you saying? How could it belong to Pan? I'm not so shameless as to steal someone else's things. Zhao Xinhui replied a little angrily. However, old Zhao's people still looked at her with suspicion and sizing her up. Zhao Xinhui was a little angry. She directly took out the golden hairpin and showed it to these people, lest they doubt her character and say that she was a thief. Zhao Xinhui handed the golden hairpin to Shen Pan and asked Shen Pan, Pan girl, look at my golden hairpin. Is it your golden hairpin? Shen Pan shook her head. No. Zhao Xinhui snorted and said to the others, I already said it wasn't your golden hairpin, but you still stared at me. Do you believe me now? It's just a golden hairpin for a son. I have a lot of jewelry. I don't care about it and I won't steal it. Zhao Baoshan originally thought that the thief was his daughter, Zhao Xinhui. Now that he knew that he had wronged her, he couldn't help but feel a little guilty towards Zhao Xinhui. Shen Pan Er's expression was a little awkward, but she still pulled her lips and flattered Zhao Xinhui. Auntie really doesn't care for it. Compared to it, Auntie's golden hairpin looks much better. Zhao Xinhui smirked and said proudly, of course, I bought this hairpin from the Jubao Pavilion for more than 10 taels of silver. When old Zhao's family heard this, they couldn't help but gasp. No wonder this golden hairpin was so beautiful. It turned out that it cost so much money. Hu Chunhua happily asked, Hui, was this golden hairpin a gift from the Qin Yuan? Yes. The smile on Hu Chunhua's face deepened. Aya, Qin Yuan is such an honest child. He's really good to you. Other things aside, the fact that they are willing to buy you such expensive jewelry as soon as they earn money shows that it is very rare. Zhao Xinhui nodded. Mother, Qin Yuan is very good to me. You see, I'll definitely have a good life if I follow him. Hu Chunhua nodded heavily. Yes. That's good. Seeing that the topic had gone off track, Shen Pan's lips twitched and she quickly pulled the topic back. Since we both said that we didn't take it, could it be that my golden hairpin was stolen by someone else? Feng Zhangxia shook her head. It's even more unlikely that it was someone else. Who would dare to come to our old Zhao's house so openly to steal things? If you ask me, I think we should search everyone's rooms first. Hu Chunhua was a little unhappy. Eldest daughter-in-law, what do you mean by that? Are you suspecting our own family again? Chapter 22:21. Hu Chunhua hurriedly cleared her name. Eldest daughter-in-law, I didn't steal it, and neither did your youngest aunt. If you want to investigate, you should check who entered Pan Er's room and whether or not they took it away. After Hu Chunhua finished speaking, Feng Zhangxia said, Mother, no one will admit to this. For the sake of fairness, everyone should search. Hu Chunhua was unwilling. No, I won't let you search my room anyway. It's just a gold hairpin. At my age, I wouldn't do such a thing. Qian Zhozha also said, That's right, eldest sister-in-law, searching is a bit too much. Think about who entered Pan Er's room first, or who in our family is more likely to do such a thing. After Qian Zhozha said this, Feng Zhangxia's eyes turned, and she patted her thigh and hurriedly said, I know who stole it. Old Zhao's family members' gazes fell on Feng Zhangxia, and they all asked curiously, Eldest sister-in-law, who stole it? That's right, who in our family is it? Who would do such a thing? Feng Zhangxia said with a firm expression. Who in our family would do such a thing? Who is the most shameless person in our family? Think about it carefully. After Feng Zhangxia said this, everyone was reminded. Currently, Zhao Wenshui was the only one in old Zhao's family who wasn't present. Usually, Zhao Wenshui was the only one who liked to do such shameless things. Unfortunately, Zhao Wenshui had something to do today, so he didn't ask. If Zhao Wenshui was present, he would definitely be able to interrogate him. Zhao Baoshan asked, Where did second brother go today? I heard him say that he went to town. Feng Zhangxia was now even more certain that Zhao Wenshui was the one who stole it. Father, the way I see it, Pan Er's golden hairpin was stolen by second brother. He's too unusual today. Why did he come to town? I think he took Pan Er's golden hairpin to sell stolen goods, and went to the pawn shop to exchange it for money. Feng Zhangxia said through gritted teeth. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. This second brother of hers was really too much. Previously, he had touched her and was taught a lesson. Yet he still didn't learn his lesson. Now he stretched out his hand and had the idea of stealing things, acting like a thief. When Zhao Wenshui returned to old Zhao's house, he had to interrogate him and teach Zhao Wenshui a lesson. Otherwise, he would not be able to vent his anger. The other members of old Zhao's family also began to suspect Zhao Wenshui. After all, Feng Zhangxia was right. No one else in old Zhao's family would do such a thing, except for Zhao Wenshui. Hu Chunhua spat on the ground and angrily cursed. This second brother is too inhumane. He's already so old, yet he still doesn't know when to stop. How did I give birth to such a son? If something happens to him, my wife will never talk to him again. This kind of person is a scourge in this world, and he'll harm his own family. Zhao Baoshan had a serious expression on his face. He looked at Feng Zhangxia and Xun Pan and sighed. After all, Zhao Wenshui was his son. As a father, he couldn't bear to steal things like this. He could only say that he didn't teach his son well in the past. It was the father's fault for not teaching his son well. So he had to bear a certain amount of responsibility. This time, Zhao Wenshui reached out to his own family. Who knew if Zhao Wenshui would become a habit of stealing things and steal things from other people in the future? Chapter 22-22. Eldest daughter-in-law. When second brother comes back, I will ask him clearly. If he really stole the hairpin and did such a sneaky thing, I will definitely punish him. Feng Zhangxia nodded in response. Father, as long as you don't side with our eldest branch, I won't complain. Zhao Baoshan sighed heavily again. Thus, the family stood in the courtyard and waited for Zhao Wenshui to come back. At this time, Zhao Yiner's carriage stopped outside old Zhao's courtyard, but these people didn't notice. Zhao Yin also heard their conversation just now. Zhao Wenshui, who was lying on the donkey cart, had a bitter expression. When Zhao Yin turned her head and looked at him suspiciously, Zhao Wenshui immediately cried out, Little Yin, you have to believe your second uncle. Your second uncle was indeed a bit absurd in the past, but I really didn't steal Pan Er's hairpin. Zhao Wenshui finally understood the feeling of being doubted and distrusted by the whole family. Now that he had fallen to this point, everyone thought he was a filthy person. Whenever something bad happened in the family, the first thing they would think of was him. This feeling wasn't good. Being doubted by everyone. Zhao Wenshui knew that even if he wanted to argue and explain, these people would still doubt him. If he hadn't done those things in the past, he wouldn't be doubted like this now. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yun'er's eyes and felt a bit wronged. However, Zhao Wenshui's eyes were very clear. Zhao Yun'er was in a daze for a moment and couldn't help but believe Zhao Wenshui's words. She believed that Shen Pan's hairpin wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui. However, there were only a few people in old Zhao's family, so the possibility of someone else stealing it wasn't high. Old Zhao's family members couldn't be blamed for looking at Zhao Wenshui suspiciously. After all, Zhao Wenshui had a criminal record. Zhao Wenshui repeated his words aggrievedly. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand and said sincerely, "Yun'er, believe me. I really didn't steal it this time." Zhao Yun'er nodded and replied, "Yes, second uncle, I believe you." It was the first time that Zhao Wenshui heard someone say this to him. He couldn't help but feel happy. He was almost moved to tears by Zhao Yun'er's words. He held Zhao Yun'er's hand excitedly and said to Zhao Yun'er, "Yun'er, you are really a good child. However, second uncle didn't let you down this time. I really didn't steal Pan's hairpin." Zhao Yun'er sighed slightly. "Second uncle, it's useless for me to believe you. You have to make the rest of old Zhao's family believe you. You have to show evidence to explain yourself. Otherwise, even if they can't find the hairpin on you, you will still think that you stole it." Zhao Wenshui suddenly felt like he was deflated. There was an indescribable sadness in his heart. However, he knew that Zhao Yun'er's words were reasonable. Zhao Yun'er cleared her throat and said helplessly, "Second uncle, whether we go back sooner or later, we have to face it. Let's go back now." "Okay." Zhao Wenshui responded helplessly. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiao Mao to old Zhao's house. As soon as they saw Zhao Wenshui lying on the donkey cart, they didn't care about Zhao Wenshui's injuries. They came up and asked Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, did you steal Pan's hairpin?" Chapter 22-23. Zhao Baoshan was a little better, but he still thought it was Zhao Wenshui. He said to Zhao Wenshui, "Second brother, explain this matter clearly. Did you have anything to do with Pan? Or losing her golden hairpin? Zhao Wenshui, you bastard. Did you do those sneaky things again? Hurry up and return Pan's hairpin, or else I'll skin you alive." Zhao Wenshui was so angry that he grabbed Zhao Wenshui's collar and said angrily to Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui was surrounded by old Zhao's people and couldn't take it anymore. At this moment, he felt even more sullen. If he did it, it would be fine. No matter what the consequences were, he deserved it. But this time, he really didn't do it, and these people treated him like this. It really made him feel bitterly disappointed. He did do ridiculous things before, but why didn't they give him an explanation? Why didn't they give him a chance to believe him? With Zhao Wenshui grabbing his collar, Zhao Wenshui felt a little breathless, and his body hurt terribly. "Big brother, be gentler, it hurts so much." Zhao Wenshui struggled. Zhao Yun'er saw Zhao Wenshui being beaten and felt a little sorry for Zhao Wenshui. She said to Zhao Wenshui, "Eldest uncle, second uncle is injured. You should be gentler. Otherwise, you'll have to take responsibility if something happens." Zhao Wenshui frowned. Only then did he notice that Zhao Wenshui's body was stained with blood. What happened to him? Hua Chunhua couldn't help but ask. Before Zhao Yun'er could answer, Feng Zhangxia snorted coldly. "Mother, do you still need to ask? It must be that the heavens couldn't stand second brother's sneaky behavior, and severely punished him." Zhao Wenshui added, "Yes, that's right. Second younger brother has done such beastly things. He will definitely be punished by the heavens. Who would have thought that retribution would come so quickly? The heavens have dealt with it for us first." Feng Zhangxia continued, "RD, quickly tell me the truth. Where did my pan or girl's fork go? Hand over the hairpin." "Hurry up." Zhao Wenshui tightened his grip on Zhao Wenshui's collar. Zhao Wenshui felt like he was about to suffocate, and his body was about to fall apart. If this continued, he might lose his life. She replied in a weak voice, I really didn't. This is Pan's matter, it has nothing to do with me. No matter how bold I am, I wouldn't dare to enter Pan's room, let alone steal from her room." "Second brother, you still don't want to admit it at this point. Are you still trying to quibble?" Tell me, other than you, who else in our family could have said it? Feng Zhangxia angrily glared at Zhao Wenshui. She looked as if she wanted to eat Zhao Wenshui alive. It wasn't me. I swear to the heavens that it really wasn't me. If I stole it, then I will be struck by lightning and die a horrible death, Zhao Wenshui swore. People in ancient times were superstitious. They felt that if a curse was a lie, they would really be punished by the heavens. Therefore, most people definitely didn't dare to curse this kind of oath. But this time, Zhao Wenshui made it sound so serious. He even said that he would be struck by lightning. This oath was a bit too vicious. Old Zhao's family looked at Zhao Wenshui's sincere expression as he swore. It really didn't seem like he was lying. Could it be that Shen Pan, golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenshui? Feng Zhangxia said in a deep voice, "Second younger brother, if it wasn't you, why did you go to town today? You obviously went to sell the stolen goods." Chapter 22-24. You said you didn't, then explain why you went to town today. Yes, you must give a reason, or I won't spare you. Zhao Wenshui was frightened and hurriedly said, I went to find Jing today. I don't have a wife at home, and no one to serve me. Last time, I asked Jing to give me money to buy a wife for me, but she didn't agree. This time, I went to the town to look for her, thinking that she would give me money if I visited her. Who knew that not only did the Zheng family refuse to give me money, but they also threw me out directly. Now I'm injured all over. Big brother, sister-in-law, father, mother, can't you see my injuries? I'm not lying. Old Zhao's family reconsidered. Coupled with Zhao Wenshui's injuries, it seemed that Zhao Wenshui was telling the truth. Zhao Baoshan angrily reprimanded Zhao Wenshui. Second brother, I told you not to ask Jing for money, but you went to town to ask for money again. Don't you feel ashamed? Father, I know I was confused. I shouldn't have done it. I was wrong. I will never do it again, Zhao Wenshui promised. Seeing Zhao Wenshui admit his mistake so quickly, Zhao Baoshan was a little uncomfortable. For a moment, he didn't know how to reprimand Zhao Wenshui. The first branch was still a little suspicious of Zhao Wenshui. Second brother, other than your injuries, do you have any other proof? Who knows if you pawned my Pan's golden hairpin while you were at it? Sister-in-law Yin can prove that she was the one who sent me to town today. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Yin and the first branch's eyes also fell on Zhao Yin. Zhao Yin nodded and replied, Second uncle was indeed with me today. I didn't see him go to the pawn shop. He was doing something else. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly said, Big brother, sister-in-law, did you hear that? Yin is here to prove it to me. Old Zhao's family might not believe what other people said, but they believed what Zhao Yin said. Because Zhao Yin and Zhao Wenshui didn't have much of a friendship, and she didn't even get along well with Zhao Wenshui. It was impossible for her to speak up for Zhao Wenshui. Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui were silent for a while. Then they said, That can't prove that you didn't steal it. We still have to check it carefully. Let's search your body first, then your house. If we can't find anything, then it means you didn't steal anything. Zhao Wenshui didn't object to this suggestion. Anyway, he really didn't do it. Even if Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshui searched him, they wouldn't find anything. It was a good opportunity to prove his innocence. Okay. Big brother, sister-in-law, then search my body first, then my house. As Zhao Wenshui spoke, he took Feng Zhangxia's hand and let Feng Zhangxia check his body. He didn't think too much. He was just impatient. In Feng Zhangxia's eyes, Zhao Wenshui was beastly and wanted to take advantage of her to hold her hand. Hence, her face darkened and she glared at Zhao Wenshui unhappily. Do you want to die? You just want to take advantage of people. Zhao Wenshui's face darkened. Zhao Wenshui, if you have such dirty thoughts again, I'll chop off your hand. Chapter 22-25. However, Zhao Wenshui was too lazy to listen to Zhao Wenshui's explanation. He felt that Zhao Wenshui was up to no good, so he scolded Zhao Wenshui. If you still don't behave at this time, I'll chop off your hand later. Let's see what else you can touch in the future. Zhao Wenxue felt very aggrieved. It was fine if he was scolded for having such intentions in the past, but why was he still scolded when he no longer had such intentions? Sob, sob, sob. He was too pitiful. Big brother. I really didn't do it on purpose, and I won't dare to do it again. Since sister-in-law can't search my body, big brother, you can do it. Hurry up and check. Although Zhao Wenxue was a little angry, he knew the purpose of today's visit. A pair of rough hands searched Zhao Wenxue's body. He searched his entire body, even his crotch, but he still couldn't find the golden hairpin. He originally thought that Zhao Wenxue had pawned the golden hairpin and exchanged it for silver, but Zhao Wenxue also didn't have any silver on him. Other than a few copper coins that he had brought with him, there was nothing else. Zhao Wenxue frowned, somewhat puzzled and suspicious. Could it be that this golden hairpin really wasn't stolen by Zhao Wenxue? Although he felt that Zhao Wenxue was the one who stole it, it was useless if he couldn't find it. Feng Zhangxia also asked with concern. Tianhu's father, did you find anything? Zhao Wenxue shook his head. No. How is that possible? Tianhu's father, search again and touch a few more times to see if second brother hid it somewhere. You have to search carefully and don't miss a single spot. Zhao Wenxue replied in a low voice. Didn't you see that I've already searched everywhere? I even touched his crotch a few times. Where else could he have hidden it? Zhao Wenxue's words made the women present pause, feeling a little embarrassed. Zhao Yin even tried to hold back her laughter. This man was touching another man's crotch. It was really interesting. Sob, sob, sob. No, she couldn't help but let her thoughts develop into a dirty place. Zhao Wenxue and Zhao Wenxue were blood brothers. What could happen between the two of them? Feng Zhangxia also coughed a few times in embarrassment. Since we can't find it on second brother's body, let's go to second brother's room to search. All right, let's go look in the house. Yeah. They went into Zhao Wenxue's room and rummaged through the cabinets, but they still didn't find anything. At this point, the first branch could no longer suspect Zhao Wenxue. Everything must be based on evidence. They did not have any evidence, so they could not find anything. Plus, Zhao Wenxue had sworn an oath, so they could not blame Zhao Wenxue. But to lose a golden hairpin for no reason, there must be a problem somewhere. Shen Pan'er's eyes flickered. She walked up to Feng Zhangxia and said, Mother, I don't think second uncle did this. Let's investigate who entered my room. Feng Zhangxia could only agree. Then we can only do that. If we still can't find anything, we have to report to Li Zheng that a thief broke into our village. Yeah. After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, she asked who entered Shen Pan'er's room yesterday and today. No matter what they did, they had to be searched. Normally, old Zhao's family would not enter Shen Pan'er's room. Other than Feng Zhangxia, only Jinju stood up. Feng Zhangxia said, As her mother-in-law, I also have to be investigated. Fourth sister-in-law, help me search my room later. Chapter 22-26. As for Jinju, Feng Zhangxia asked curiously, Juer, why did you go into Pan'er's room? Without waiting for Jinju to explain, Shen Pan'er spoke before Jinju. Mother, it's like this. Yesterday, I brought some pastries back from my in-law's house. Second sister-in-law was helping with this and that, so I had second sister-in-law go to my place to get a box of pastries. I also said a few words to second sister-in-law. At that time I was also there. Second sister-in-law definitely didn't have the opportunity to steal my golden hairpin, so don't search second sister-in-law's room later. Seeing Shen Pan'er speak up for her and trust her so much, Jinju felt a little touched. However, Feng Zhangxia said, That won't do. Even if you believe me, you still have to search. Our old Zhao family only has so many people. Since the person who entered your room has to be searched, otherwise it's unfair to others. Jinju glanced at Feng Zhangxia, then at Shen Pan'er. She was already very touched that Shen Pan'er was willing to speak up for her. She couldn't make things difficult for Shen Pan'er because of this matter, and cause more conflict between Shen Pan'er and Feng Zhangxia. Otherwise, she would always blame herself in the middle. Moreover, it was only a search of the room. It wasn't a big deal to tidy it up later. In any case, she didn't do such a sneaky thing. It was impossible to find Shen Pan-er's golden hairpin. If she didn't let others search her room, it would only make it more conspicuous. Eldest sister-in-law, it's fine. Just let mother and the others search my room. I'll tidy it up later. Shen Pan-er nodded apologetically. Thus, the people from the fourth branch entered the first branch's room to search the golden hairpin, while the people from the first branch entered Jinju's room to search. Not long after, Feng Zhangxia came out of Jinju's room with a gloomy face. She held a golden hairpin in her hand and brought it to Shen Pan-er to ask, "Pan or girl, is this golden hairpin yours?" Shen Pan-er looked at the hairpin in Feng Zhangxia's hand and made a surprised expression. She covered her mouth and nodded in disbelief, then looked at Jinju. At the same time, Jinju was also stunned. How could this be? How could her mother have found a golden hairpin in her room? Did he make a mistake? She clearly didn't steal Shen Pan-er's hairpin, but she found it in her room. Everyone in old Zhao's family looked at Jinju. Jinju felt wronged and her throat choked for a moment. With a gloomy face, Feng Zhangxia asked Jinju in a displeased tone, "Little girl Ju, why don't you explain to me why this golden hairpin is in your room? Did you steal it?" Usually Feng Zhangxia was very gentle to Jinju. This was the first time she spoke to Jinju in such a strict tone. Jinju's heart tightened. She shook her head innocently at Feng Zhangxia and said, "Mother, I didn't steal sister-in-law's hairpin. It's not me." Zhao Xinhui, who was at the side, sneered, "If it wasn't you, who else could it be? We've already found it in your house. What are you still trying to deny?" He usually looked honest, but it turned out that it was all an act. How could he have the nerve to do such a sneaky thing? What kind of daughter-in-law did our old Zhao bring back? Eldest sister-in-law, Tianhu, there's something wrong with the way you two look at people. See, now you've seen it for yourself. Chapter 22-27. Zhao Xinhui had always disliked Jinju. Now that he caught Jinju committing a crime, he naturally scolded her. Feng Zhangxia listened to Zhao Xinhui's words and felt bitterly disappointed in Jinju. She used to like Jinju very much and thought that Jinju was a down-to-earth and honest child. She didn't expect that Jinju wasn't honest, and actually did such a thing this time. Country people were most afraid of traitors. Jinju's behavior this time was really bad. If she hadn't personally searched Jinju's closet and found Shen Pan-er's golden hairpin, she wouldn't have believed that her second daughter-in-law was such a person. Jinju panicked even more. "It wasn't me. It really wasn't me. Mother, sister-in-law, you have to believe me. I didn't steal it. Even if I was there, I would never steal sister-in-law's things." Zhao Xinhui sneered, "Little Jewer, don't pretend. Why wouldn't you know how to do it? You're a country bumpkin. Pan-er is the daughter of a rich family. How could you have seen such a good thing like a golden hairpin? In my opinion, you were blinded by greed and stole it." Jinju looked at the others and saw that old Zhao's family members were looking at her with disappointment and disdain. After all, the golden hairpin was found in her room, and she was the only one who went into Shen Pan-er's room yesterday. No one would believe her even if she explained that she didn't steal it. People always believed what they saw. This feeling of being doubted and unable to explain was very uncomfortable. Jinju couldn't figure it out. She clearly didn't steal it. How could Shen Pan-er's golden hairpin be in her room? This matter was too fishy. "It wasn't me. Can you believe me? I don't envy sister-in-law's things. Although my family was poor before, I knew what to take and what not to take. Stealing is the most shameful thing. I'm not that shameless." Jinju's voice carried a hint of sobbing. She tried hard to hold back her tears. Zhao Tianhu looked at his wife's pitiful appearance and took a deep breath. He stood beside Jinju and said to old Zhao's family members, "I believe that Jewer didn't steal it. Jewer isn't that kind of person. Even if you give her something, she'll find all sorts of excuses to reject it, let alone take it personally." Zhao Xinhui sneered. "Tianhu, as the saying goes, you may know a person for a long time without understanding their true nature. Don't be fooled by Jewer. She might be one person in front of you and another behind your back." Zhao Tianhu still shook his head and said firmly, "No, Jewer is not such a person. She is my wife. We have been together for a long time. I know her character. Seeing Zhao Tianhu firmly protecting her, Jinju was very touched. It didn't matter if others suspected her. What Jinju was most afraid of was that Zhao Tianhu would suspect her like everyone else. Fortunately, Zhao Tianhu did not disappoint her. Even if everyone did not believe her, he still stood by her side. Then tell me, what's with this golden hairpin? Why didn't they find it in other people's rooms, but in yours? If she didn't steal it, who else could have stolen it? Shinpan also looked at Jinju with disappointment and said to Jinju, second sister-in-law, I treat you sincerely. How can you treat me like this? If you like my golden hairpin, you can tell me. At most, I will give it to you. But now you use such a dirty method. It's really disappointing. Chapter 22-28. Jinju's heart felt like it had been poked by something, and it hurt so much. With tears in her eyes, Jinju looked at Shinpan, sister-in-law, I really didn't do it. I don't understand why the golden hairpin would appear in my room, but please believe me, I won't do such a thing. Shinpan, sighed heavily, second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but tell me, how can I believe you now? If you didn't steal it, would it grow legs and fly into your room? Why didn't it be found in other people's rooms, but in yours? Zhao Xinhui agreed. That's right, you still want to quibble at this point. Sister-in-law, you have to punish this kind of daughter-in-law, otherwise, she will be lawless in the future and make our old Zhao family into a foul atmosphere. It seems that I have to lock up my things properly in the future, lest you find a loophole. After all, it's hard to guard against a thief in the family. The most frightening thing is having your things stolen by someone in the family. Zhao Xinhui's humiliating words made Jinju feel ashamed. She was speechless, and all her excuses seemed pale and powerless. That's right. Who told the golden hairpin to be found in her room? Feng Zhangxia's brows sank deeply, and she sighed deeply. Last tell me, why did you steal Panner's golden hairpin? You have to be honest with me, otherwise I won't forgive you. Mother, I didn't do this, how can I explain it? I know everyone suspects me, but I swear to the heavens, this matter has nothing to do with me. Shinpan, pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand and said to her, Mother, let's just forget about this matter. After all, we are family. Second sister-in-law might have done this in a moment of confusion, so let's give her a chance, don't pursue it. How can that be? The act of stealing was too vile. How could he let it go so easily? Pan lass, mother will give you an explanation. Feng Zhangxia questioned Jinju again. Jinju didn't do it. No matter how angry Feng Zhangxia was, Jinju still answered that she was innocent. Looking at Jinju's stubborn look, Feng Zhangxia was furious. What was wrong with our foresight back then? We didn't see through her, and married such a daughter-in-law. God, how could you treat me like this? I thought I found an honest man, but in the end his hands and feet are not clean. How am I going to live in the future? Feng Zhangxia cried angrily, making Jinju even more embarrassed. Zhao Tianhu looked at his wife and felt very distressed. He said to Feng Zhangxia, Mother, just believe Ju'er this time. Don't you know Ju'er's usual character? I also want to believe it, but Tianhu, tell Mother, did this golden hairpin grow legs and run into your room? Mother. Zhao Tianhu naturally didn't know, so he couldn't give a reason. But he believed that this matter absolutely had nothing to do with Jinju. Shinpan pulled Feng Zhangxia's hand and said, Mother, just listen to me. Forget it, don't pursue it anymore. It doesn't matter whether second sister-in-law stole it or not. The important thing is that the hairpin has been returned. At least it wasn't stolen by others and we lost a lot of money. Chapter 22-29. Feng Zhangxia frowned and asked, Pan girl, do you have any other ideas? Mother, I think there is a need for us to split up now. What second sister-in-law did was a bit too much. If they continued to live together, who knew what would happen? Now that second brother has a family, it is fine to split up. This way, you won't have to worry about the future, right? Since second brother trusts second sister-in-law so much, I believe that they will be able to live a good life together. Hearing Shen Pan-er's words, the other members of old Zhao's family were stunned. How long had it been since the second branch had formed a family, and they were already making a fuss about splitting up? This was definitely the first time in the village. Disregarding everything else, the other families would split up a long time after each branch had formed their own family. For example, when the third branch split up, a long time had passed, and the children of the third branch had already grown up. However, there were very few families like Feng Zhangxia's who were making a fuss about splitting up. When Zhao Tianhu heard this, he looked at Shen Pan-er in disbelief. He never thought that Shen Pan-er would suggest splitting up. Wasn't her words confirming that Jinju had stolen something? When he thought about how his wife had been wronged by everyone, Zhao Tianhu felt even more indignant. The other members of old Zhao's family understood that splitting up now was not worth it for Zhao Tianhu. Usually, Zhao Tianhu did a lot of work and helped old Zhao's family and the first branch a lot. Zhao Tianlong was about to take the imperial examinations. Once he became a high-ranking official, wouldn't he be able to lead the first branch to live a good life? However, if they were to split up now, it would mean that Zhao Tianhu and Zhao Tianlong would have to live separately in the future. After Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, he would be able to lead his family to live a good life. However, he would not be able to lead Zhao Tianhu. Then wouldn't all of Zhao Tianhu's previous contributions be wasted, and he would not be able to reap any benefits? Feng Zhangxia was also thinking about this matter. She did not understand what was going on. Even if Jinju did something wrong, Zhao Tianhu was still her son. As a mother, she naturally didn't want her son to have a hard life in the future. Once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, the whole family would be able to enjoy life together. Seeing the conflicted look on Feng Zhangxia's face, Shen Pan-er felt a little anxious. Taking a deep breath, he pursed his lips and said to Feng Zhangxia, "Mother, I know that it's not a good idea to talk about splitting the family now, but there's no other way. If they didn't separate, what would happen if second sister-in-law did this kind of thing in the future? I can forget about it this time, but next time," Jinju said anxiously to Shen Pan-er, "Sister-in-law, there won't be a next time. I'm not a thief. I won't steal." "Second sister-in-law, I also want to believe you, but..." Before Shen Pan-er could finish speaking, Zhao Xinhui chimed in. "Jewer, who would dare to live with you like this? Then I think Pan-er is right, we should split up. Sister-in-law, don't hesitate anymore. Since this girl isn't being honest, then just ignore her. If we split up, at least we can have some peace and quiet." This. Feng Zhangxia frowned. Faced with the family's disbelief and overbearing attitude, Jinju felt very wronged. Thinking about how she was being disdained, she took a deep breath and said, "Mother, since sister-in-law doesn't want to live with me, why don't we split up? Tianhu and I will live alone." Chapter 2230. Feng Zhangxia sighed heavily. "Alright, since the two of you are willing, then let's split up. In the future, we won't have anything to do with you. You can do whatever you want. As for the theft of the golden hairpin today, since Pan-er doesn't pursue it, I won't pursue it either. This matter ends here." After Feng Zhangxia finished speaking, Zhao Wenshi felt helpless. He wanted to live a good life as a family. Sometimes, in the face of special circumstances, it was better to split up. Just like old Zhao's family in the past, when everyone split up, there would be fewer conflicts and disturbances, and their lives would be more comfortable. There was no need for them to make a fuss and be unable to live peacefully every day. Since Feng Zhangxia and Zhao Wenshi agreed, the family naturally decided to split up. Feng Zhangxia took inventory of everything in the house, then gave the second branch's share to them. Shen Pan-er was generous. She didn't want the farmland and gave it all to the second branch. For Shen Pan-er, farmland was dispensable. In any case, the Shen family was rich and didn't care about 1 or 2 mu of farmland. Most importantly, she and Zhao Tianlong didn't know how to farm, so it was better to be generous and give it to the second branch to gain a good reputation. When Zhao Tianlong found out, he would probably praise her for being virtuous and treating his brothers well. Only those rural women who didn't have money on hand would haggle over every ounce. In addition, once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official and went to live in the city, the family's farmland would naturally be sold. It was better to give it to the second branch as a favor. After receiving such a favor from the first branch, at least they wouldn't have to take advantage of others in the future. Otherwise, when the first branch became rich and the second branch wanted to trouble them, it wouldn't be good for them to refuse. Feng Zhangxia gave some of the money in the house to Zhao Tianhu, 200 or 300 copper coins. If it wasn't for Zhao Wenshui compensating them with more than 10 taels of silver, the first branch wouldn't have much money left. In the end, the second branch received a total of 200 or 300 copper coins, 2 mu of paddy fields, 1 mu of dry land, a house, some farming tools, and food. These things weren't little, so Zhao Tianhu and Jinju were very satisfied. As long as the two of them were hardworking and lived well, they would definitely be able to eat and wear well. They wouldn't starve to death. After separating from the family, they started to move their things. Jinju was in low spirits. She was still thinking about the golden hairpin. She really didn't know what was going on, but she couldn't prove her innocence. Seeing Jinju's worried look, Zhao Tianhu patted Jinju's shoulder and said softly, "Jur, don't think too much. No matter how others don't believe you, as long as I believe you, it's fine. Now the two of us should pack up and start a new life. Ju, as long as I'm here, I'll definitely take good care of you. You won't starve." The corner of Jinju's mouth pulled out a smile, and she nodded heavily in response. Yes, I know. Tianhu, it's good to have you. Silly girl, I'm your husband, so of course I have to treat you well. Yeah. Jinju's originally gloomy mood improved a lot. Since this matter could not be explained and could not be undone, then she would try her best not to think about it and slowly forget about it. Anyway, she really didn't steal it. As long as she had a clear conscience, it was fine. Old Zhao's house gradually quieted down. Those who needed to work went back to work, and those who needed to rest went back to rest. Xinpan, walked into the room with a victorious smile on her face. Chapter 2231. As for the golden hairpin, she had secretly stuffed it into the second branch's wardrobe. Naturally, she couldn't force the second branch to separate from them, so she could only use such an extreme method. By framing Jinju for stealing, they could separate from the family, and make Feng Zhangxia loathe Jinju. At the very least, she wouldn't treat Jinju like before. Ever since Jinju married over, Feng Zhangxia had been especially good to her. This kind of kindness directly overshadowed the way she treated her, making Xinpan feel very uncomfortable. Now that Feng Zhangxia loathed Jinju, there would be a gap between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. Then, Feng Zhangxia would treat her better in the future. Although it would hurt Jinju, she had to do it for her own sake. Now she had achieved her goal and successfully separated from the family. She only hoped that Zhao Tianlong would come back soon. She really missed him too much. If it wasn't for Zhao Tianlong giving her something to look forward to, she wouldn't have been able to stay in old Zhao's home for even a day. Now that she had dealt with the second branch, she was in a very good mood. She couldn't help but smile. Zhao Yangyang looked at Xinpan's happy expression and asked, "Mother, what made you so happy?" Xinpan naturally wouldn't tell Zhao Yangyang the truth. She didn't want him to spread the news. "It's nothing. Mother just wanted to let you know that your father will be back soon." Xinpan patted Zhao Yangyang's head and said with a gentle expression. Zhao Yangyang's eyes immediately lit up. "Mother, really? Father will be back soon?" Xinpan nodded heavily. "Of course. How could mother lie to you?" Good. Yangyang really misses father. Mother also misses your father. Let's wait for your father to come back together." And then, the mother and son acted out a warm scene in the room. Outside the room, Zhao Wenshui was still lying on Zhao Yiner's donkey cart. No matter what, it wasn't easy for him to clear his name. Zhao Wenshui was in a good mood. Lying on the donkey cart, Zhao Yiner called out, "Little Yin, second uncle was right? This time it really has nothing to do with second uncle. Second uncle is not a thief." Zhao Yiner frowned, thinking about what happened today. She had interacted with Jinju before and knew Jinju's temperament. How could a person who didn't like to take advantage of others steal? She believed that she had not misjudged Jinju. This matter definitely had nothing to do with Jinju. But why was that? Why do you want to frame Jinju? What was his goal? Zhao Yin carefully recalled the words of the people in the courtyard just now. After some analysis, he felt that there was something suspicious about Shen Panner. There was definitely something wrong with this woman. If the reason why he tried so hard to frame Jinju was to separate from the family, this was understandable. Unfortunately, she didn't have any evidence, so she couldn't say that it was just a wild guess. As for Jinju, splitting up might not be a bad thing. Based on her understanding of Zhao Tianhu and Jinju, both of them were people who worked hard to live their lives. As long as they worked hard, they would definitely make their lives more and more beautiful. Little Yunner, why aren't you talking? What are you thinking? Why are you ignoring your second uncle? Zhao Wenshui pushed Zhao Yunner. Zhao Yunner pulled back from her thoughts. Chapter 2232. Zhao Wenshui hurriedly responded. It would have been fine if Zhao Yun didn't mention it, but now that she did, he felt sore all over, as if his bones were about to fall apart. However, Zhao Yun couldn't move Zhao Wenshui by herself. After all, he was a man, and it was inconvenient for her to support him. Zhao Wenshui shouted at Zhao Wentao, who was in the courtyard. Fourth brother, come here quickly. Help your second brother carry him into the house. Your second brother can't walk and Yunner can't move him. Seeing Zhao Wenshui's angry look, Zhao Wentao had no choice but to walk to Zhao Wenshui and carry Zhao Wenshui on his back. When Hua Chunhua saw this, she stood in the courtyard and shouted, Fourth brother, don't carry him. Don't pay attention to him. Second brother is a troublemaker who likes to make trouble all day long. Look at what he has become. He has troubled his family. Let him fend for himself. Don't pay attention to him even if he dies. Zhao Wentao was embarrassed for a moment. He couldn't advance or retreat. With a bitter face, Zhao Wenshui looked at Hua Chunhua pitifully. Mother, I'm your son. How can you be so cruel as to watch me die? Hua Chunhua snorted coldly. Who told you to cause trouble? Even if you die, I will still be able to live in peace. Hua Chunhua's cruel words pierced Zhao Wenshui's heart like a needle. It was fine if others disliked him, but this year his mother also disliked him. He really couldn't bear it. Why was it like this? How much of a failure did he have to be like this? However, at the same time, Zhao Wenshui faced up to the absurdity of his previous behavior and made up his mind to turn over a new leaf. Only in this way would he not be abandoned by his friends and family for the rest of his life. He would not grow old alone or die alone. Zhao Wenshui sobbed and said to Hua Chunhua, Then I realized that I did a lot of ridiculous things before, but from today on, I won't do it again and I won't make trouble for you and our family. Hua Chunhua and Zhao Wenshui were slightly startled. Zhao Yunner had thought so before. They couldn't believe that Zhao Wenshui would say such a thing. Hua Chunhua stared at Zhao Wenshui suspiciously, then muttered, I say, number 2, what kind of trick are you up to? Is your brain okay? Zhao Wenshui's mouth twitched. Then he said seriously, Mother, of course my brain is fine. It's clear. I just suddenly realized that I have to be a good person in the future. Hua Chunhua frowned. Second brother, don't fool an old woman like me. I know what kind of person you are. Who would believe you when you say that you've turned over a new leaf? In my opinion, you'll be back to square one in a few days. Mother, it's not easy for second brother to say such a thing. Let's give second brother a chance. Zhao Wentao, who had been silent all this time, said. If a muddle-headed person could realize that his behavior was wrong and wanted to turn over a new leaf, it meant that he had already taken the first step. As for whether he could succeed in the future, that would depend on his persistence. At least it was better than him not recognizing his own shortcomings. Zhao Wenshui looked at Zhao Wentao touched. He held Zhao Wentao's hand and said, Fourth brother, you're so good. Your second brother's good brother. Second brother won't let you down. Zhao Wentao returned a smile. Second brother, As long as you're willing to change, there's still a chance. We're family, so you don't have to be so polite. Chapter 2233. Hua Chuanhua's eyes turned, and her heart softened at this moment. No matter what, Zhao Wenshui was her son, a piece of flesh that fell from her body. Others could ignore the hardships of carrying Zhao Wenshui for 10 months, but as a mother, it was difficult for her to completely let go of Zhao Wenshui. Hua Chunhua sighed. All right then, I'll give second brother this opportunity. I hope he can really recognize himself, turn over a new leaf, and be a good person. Don't play tricks. Mother, how can that be? I will definitely change. Zhao Wenshui said sincerely, and the smile on his face was no longer as wretched as before. Instead, there was a sense of naivety. Zhao Wentao then sent Zhao Wenshui into the house, and went to invite Dr. Sun over for Zhao Wenshui. This time, Zhao Wenshui was so seriously injured because he had just recovered from his previous injury and suffered a heavy impact again. However, it was not a big deal. As long as he lay on the bed and rested for a while, he would be fine. Seeing that Dr. Sun said it was not a big deal, and that there was no need to prescribe medicine, Zhao Wenshui and Hua Chunhua both breathed a sigh of relief. After all, the cost of medicine was too expensive. It would cost a lot of money to just casually grab some medicine, which was a huge expense for the villagers. If it was in the past, Zhao Wenshui felt that it was okay to spend all the money. At worst, he could just ask Zhao Jing, or for money in the future. Now that he could not count on the Zheng family, he naturally had to save up the remaining money in his hands. If he had to live on, he had to be careful with his spending. Otherwise, that little money would not be able to last long. After confirming that Zhao Wenshui was fine, Zhao Yun also breathed a sigh of relief. Since Zhao Wenshui had decided to turn over a new leaf, he had to have the fate to change. Fortunately, the heavens were merciful and did not let Zhao Wenshui suffer any serious injuries. After dealing with Zhao Wenshui's matter, Zhao Yun'er saw Jinju and Zhao Tianhu moving things because of the separation, so she walked over and wanted to help them. When Jinju saw Zhao Yun'er coming over, she felt a little embarrassed. Yun'er, everyone thinks I'm a thief and doesn't want to talk to me. Why did you take the initiative to talk to me? Zhao Yun'er smiled and said, because I believe that you didn't steal it. I know you're not that kind of person. Zhao Yun'er's words were like a warm current that flowed into Jinju's heart. Jinju had never been so touched before. It turned out that other than Zhao Tianhu, there were still people who were willing to believe in her and stand on her side. This feeling of being trusted was really good. Yun'er. Jinju choked with sobs and called Zhao Yun'er's name. She looked at Zhao Yun'er with a touched expression. Thank you. After a while, Jinju spat out these words with difficulty. Zhao Yun'er's smile deepened. She patted Jinju's shoulder and said, second sister-in-law, what are you thanking me for? You didn't steal it. I believe you should. Those who don't believe you definitely don't understand you. In fact, you don't have to pay attention to those people. Just be yourself and have a clear conscience. Yes. Jinju nodded heavily. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.